Unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat. We guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Mrs. E. Mrs. E.
Welcome in, everyone. This is Mr. E's Crimecast. I am Mr. E. I'm joined by, eventually, I think, Mrs. E. And, of course, our guest, Auntie. How are you doing, Auntie E?
I'm good. How are you guys tonight?
Good, good. We've got a lot of stuff going on today. I'd like to welcome everybody that's in the chat. Mrs. E's got some family stuff she's gonna be taking care of, so she might be in and out tonight. I think she'll be back a little bit later, but the kids need a little bit of attention at the moment. But good to see in here Susan Smith. You say you missed a few lives, but hopefully we do these shows where they're on the replay. Is the idea that if people go back and watch them, that they can be enjoyable as well. But I know it's kind of fun to be able to be in chat and talk to everybody. Hello, Marilyn and Sam. Happy to be here and hoping I don't get any calls for work. That's happened to me a couple of times too on this show. So I've been called away a few times. Also like to thank the mods that are here. Let's see, we got Lady Tit for Tat. I don't know if any other mods are in yet or not, but
We've got Lady.
We did this kind of last minute, so glad that they could be here.
Yes, she's the only one I see right now. But we've got Mama Bear. She's in here. Car Guy, Don B, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches, who is asking for some prayers this evening for some neck and head pain. So big prayer to you, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. We hope you feel better soon.
Neck and head pain. Yeah. That can be awful. I've had the cervical migraines before, so I don't know what you've got going on there, but that kind of stuff is real serious. It can cause a lot of pain. So hope that gets better for you.
SRK9 Mom, hello. Good evening.
A lot of new folks too. A lot of familiar faces. Purple World.
Robin, Marlena Cantu, one of our members. Lucy, another one of our members is with us tonight. Bite Me Ray. That's a good one. Hello, SS Butterfly Kisses of one of our members.
Oh, yeah.
So have several people hopping on tonight.
Yeah, everybody's coming in here. So I think tonight it actually might be a little bit of a shorter live for us. We've kind of got some stuff going on, but we really wanted to get on here and talk about a few of the things that have been going on today. So this might be more like an hour and a half for us. So a little bit shorter than what we might be used to. I think the first thing we want to get into is this the news about Dog the Bounty Hunter. So if you hadn't heard that today, he's kind of been teasing it, but now he's officially getting in on the action here. So here's from his X post. I'm going to read hashtag Sebastian Rogers, and this is from Dog the Bounty Hunter. If you have any information, contact Dog the Bounty Hunter's official tip line at 833-TELL-DOG or Nick the Hat directly by texting 332-252-3636. Reward $100,000. Let's do our part to bring Sebastian home and lock those responsible up for the rest of time. The hunt is on. Let's go. Aloha. And then he has a picture of the poster with all the details on Sebastian. And that's really been the big news today is that. So A lot of things to kind of think about with that. First of all, the reward is, they're adding an additional award on top of, up to $100,000. And of course, the bigger that number gets, the more enticing that might be. It's also more of a headline grabber. 100,000 just looks great to the news and that kind of thing. And so that's all wonderful. You just never know when that reward might be what's needed. Of course, then you've got Dog the Bounty Hunter, just himself being involved. And if he's coming to Sumner County here in the next few days or next couple of weeks, that's a big development. So I'm not as familiar with Dog the Bounty Hunter as Auntie is. You've watched him quite a bit.
Years ago, I used to watch it all the time. My husband and I would watch Dog the Bounty Hunter like every night. It was like we'd watch 2 or 3 episodes, and he gets the job done. He knows what he's doing, and he's someone that came from not the best circumstances and turned his life around and does good for lots and lots of families and brings in the criminals. So he's a great guy, and I think he'll bring so much positive energy to the search and the media attention to Sebastian. It's going to be great. So I think that anything helps, and the additional money for rewards has to help in some way, encourage someone that might know something to say more.
Yeah, I think it's a great development. It's already getting all kinds of news attention. I know it's being played run on TMZ. The local news is covering it. WKRN, which is the ABC affiliate here, they did a story on it. And they put together a lot of the footage from the past, with like Seth and the searches and the dogs and all of those things, and just kind of recapped and reminded everyone about this story. I was just kind of reading up on Dog the Bounty Hunter himself and kind of his reputation. I mean, he's got a pretty loyal fan base, and there's a lot of folks that are really thrilled about him being involved, thinking, he's the real deal. Apparently, I mean, he's not just a reality guy. He has over 10,000 fugitives that he's caught throughout his career.
That's a lot.
So
that's a lot.
That's a lot of experience,
Yeah.
and we were talking about this. What it can mean is that, he's got connections with law enforcement all over the country. He's got connections also with criminals all over the country. And, you never know where those connections and those, him kind of working out of the system a little bit can maybe produce some different results than law enforcement can. I was thinking about this, like if I were, there's people that will avoid the police, that don't trust them. We had that lady that didn't want to call in her tip. It ended up being a false lead, but she believed it was a genuine, credible lead. And she wanted to bypass the police because she didn't trust them. She wanted to call directly to Seth to give the lead. And there's a lot of folks that feel that way, either because they just don't trust the police, or maybe they've got maybe even a criminal history themselves, and they don't want to be on the radar for whatever reasons they might have. Dog the Bounty Hunter comes along, and then there might be people more willing to talk to a celebrity bounty hunter that they feel they know through television, where they may not quite trust a detective knocking on their door.
Sure.
It might just open different doors that are currently closed. I would even guess if he goes through the neighborhood, just starts knocking on doors, even people that would be reluctant to talk to like reporters or YouTubers or whatever might open the door for Dog,
Yes.
and have him come in and say, yeah, come on in, let's have a cup of coffee and talk about this. And so anyway, I think it's exciting. Of course, it gets more national attention. Everybody's going to want to talk about, the celebrity thing. It can have a lot of drawbacks, a lot of negativity, but it can do some good. And this is a case where it could really do a lot of good, get more people interested in writing about and covering the story. It gives them an excuse to cover it. And I know for a fact that we are having I read all of our comments, and we have people all the time that are joining onto this story that had never heard of it before. And they're like, I'm just trying to catch up on this. I cannot believe this mystery. And, and they've only heard of it a week or two or a month ago. So, that I think it's great news. And whoever the guilty parties are that are responsible, we're not excited to hear about this today. I think the last thing you want is Dog the Bounty Hunter, going through town trying to get answers. So I think it's great.
Sharice
and
said thought it was funny that he waited until the FBI reward came out, and she said, "I don't think he'd collect, but why wait until then?" I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it got his attention. I mean, there's a lot of missing kids out there. There's a lot of stories out there. Maybe it got his attention. I know he talked about it before because I heard him speak on it briefly in a podcast maybe 2 months ago. I can't think of the name, but he knew of it. He was aware of it, so it's been on his radar to a certain extent. And I don't know how he operates. I wondered if somebody's backing him.
I wondered if someone didn't encourage him to get involved with it, because maybe they feel like the police aren't as involved as they need to be, and putting him on it. Like Car Guy said, he will put the pressure back on. That might put more pressure back onto the police, either to do further investigation or to start to reveal some things that they have been holding close to the vest. I don't know. But either way, I think it is going to put some pressure back on to the search and hopefully get it more back in an active, more professional manner, instead of all these different people out there just looking randomly in different places. It's great that there are people out there searching, but maybe he'll put a little bit more logic back into the grid of where they can search and get some more clues to know where to search.
Yeah, and I see people in the chat kind of saying this, and I agree. Like with this is what a lot of folks are kind of suggesting. If he's pitching in, this is Lady Tit for Tat. Well, if he's pitching in, I don't think he has intent to collect. I wonder if he was just giving law enforcement 6 months to find something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he intends to collect either. I would assume. I mean, financially, he did. I think I saw he did 8 seasons. Financially, he's set. He's made his money. I would guess he's continuing to make money just by being a social media influencer and this, all those kinds of things. That the reward is probably not something he intends to collect. He's doing okay on that. I would say at this point, he just takes on the cases he wants to take, and maybe like us, this has broken a lot of hearts, and gotten people really emotionally invested. And maybe he's been watching it from afar, and he's just decided it's time for him to step in there. So there's also this other guy, and I'm not as familiar with the Nick the Hat guy. Do you know him? Was he on the show?
No, I don't know if that's a relative. Let me look it up to make sure, because I was thinking that one of the sons' names was Nick, but I don't know if it's the same guy.
He's a former editor, and he had a controversial conviction for like fraud or something, with like making these fake emails and stuff.
It was racist emails. Yeah,
like trying to make people look racist or something. I didn't read a whole lot about it, so
it says he was an online editor in chief of on an online news site. Your Content is what it was called, and I don't know. Nicholas, and the name is like
right. An impossible name. That's why he's Nick the Hat, right?
5,000 letters long. Yeah.
But anyway, he seems to be working with whatever his past is. Maybe he's maybe that's he's reformed, and
right.
moved on from that. I think it was a while back, if I remember. It
was like 2019, so it's been a while.
So not that long. I mean, so just 5 years. I was thinking it was mission. Well, anyway, but still, maybe he's reformed on that now. I don't know. But regardless, he seems to be working with Dog the Bounty Hunter to some extent. And I thought this was interesting on his X account today. Someone had responded to, it was in the reply section. Someone had responded to one of his posts saying there are only a very few high-profile missing children's cases where the parents had been cleared before the investigation had concluded. And his response was, exactly. And anyone claiming that they've been cleared should be a red flag. They're not cleared. I just spoke with federal authorities. Nobody is cleared. The father, Seth, is cooperating. He also agreed to undergo rigorous tests conducted in controlled environments, and in the parentheses, akin to truth serum. I don't know if the Proudfoots have agreed, but we'll know soon. Whoever did this, we will find you.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, truth serum. So I don't know if this is accurate or not. I guess we'll see if Seth has agreed to do truth serum, and if they're so it's kind of I looked up how the truth serum and how well that works and everything, and it's kind of a mixed bag. It's not that it makes you tell the truth, and it's very controversial, of course, and not admissible in court. But it's kind of like a polygraph. It can be a tool that's useful, and generally what it is that it doesn't necessarily make you tell the truth. It just might make you tell more of what you're going to say. So it just kind of makes you a little looser with your responses. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be you're going to say everything that's true. You just might tell more than you had intended. I think it's kind of how they say it often would work. But there's a lot of studies on it and all of that. It's kind of somewhat controversial, or it is controversial as far as to whether or not it should be used. But in some instances, it is still used, and there's tons of different kinds.
Well, and some people are saying they thought it was illegal. I guess if it's in a controlled environment and they're doing it to clear somebody, maybe there are stipulations that it can be used, but I don't know if it's illegal.
No, it's not illegal.
A lot of people are saying that in the chat that it's illegal.
I don't believe so. I believe because I think I saw some rulings where it could be used in certain situations and things like that. I could go back and it might just depend on. I would guess it depends on the state, actually. And in some of it, there's a bunch of different kinds too. There's like the sodium pentothal that everybody knows, and there's like a dozen or so different types. But I would, if that's true, that's wild. I wouldn't have even thought that is a technique. So I wanted to ask you, since you're familiar with his show, one thing I kept reading on about Dog the Bounty Hunter is that he uses sort of unconventional psychological techniques and things like that. Do you recall methods that he might use that would be a little different than what are his common tactics to?
Well, they did the show pretty much would center around like one or two people that he was looking for, and it would be how they found that person, and then either catching that person and talking to that person. A lot of times they try to run, whatever, but he really tried to get in their head. And I think he would use like a one-on-one psychological with them to try to get them to turn themselves in, come in, and he would pray with them. He tried to
I see.
would always try to turn it to God, and he would pray before they would pray before all of their searches, and then he would try to he did a lot of psychological stuff with the people that he would catch and talking to them. They would sit in the car sometimes for an hour, having conversation, also working with the people that had informants. He would do a lot of the psychological stuff with the informants, trying to get the information that they needed to find the criminals that they were looking for to take in.
Oh, well, then that's great.
Yeah.
That means if he's here and he starts making connections and talking to people, then he may be able to, it's a human, the case is, there's a few ways it's going to get solved at this point. And one of the ways is people. Finding the right connections in people,
right?
And getting them to start talking.
And he was really good one-on-one with them. He would usually be the one that would do all of the talking and kind of coercion to get them to do what he wanted them to do. And if you watch a couple episodes, you get the gist of what each one was like. But we would watch it all the time, and you would have some really good positive cases and some really kind of sad cases. But he also sometimes would involve the families and, how it impacted the family and what he could do to help them as well. And so, he did some really great stuff and very unconventional manners.
Yeah. So interesting. So I'm sure he'll try to reach out to all of the, another thing I like about these kind of things is, he's come. When I heard him on the podcast, he kind of knew about the case, but didn't know it the way we all here know it. So it's always good to have people come in with a kind of a fresh perspective, looking at things all over again. So I'm sure he'll start kind of at square one and go with the 3 parents, talk to them if he can. I would assume that everyone will at least return that phone call. If they don't, that would tell a lot too.
Right.
So I think there would be, they may not return, but it sounds like they've already, if I'm understanding Nick's post, it sounds like, I assume let me go back and look at that again.
I want to think that he also did some work like catching criminals, the Nick the Hat guy. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I had never heard of him until this.
Somebody, Charlene said that as well. She said, Nick the Hat chased down criminals as well. I think he's a bondsman too, but not sure. I'm not sure either, but there's something about his name that I remember. But I'm not 100%.
Don B is saying he heard that they are helping. Let's see. The news made it sound like he is exclusively helping just Seth. I don't know. I didn't catch that. I know there's been a lot of different news segments about it. So I didn't watch I didn't see all the TMZ. I just saw that they covered it, and I know I'm sure all the locals are doing it, because I'm sure when he's coming to town, he calls all of them and lets them know.
Well, and there's already been high profile people ask, like what they said, Miley Cyrus's brother had asked, who was it that they got involved?
Yeah, Lore Lodge.
Lore Lodge.
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing.
So, I mean, there's already people that have gotten his name somehow to some high profile people. So obviously, there's been connections made, and whether he's just working with Seth, I don't think it matters as long as he's looking.
Yeah, and I'm sure. We know Seth would welcome any help. He's been begging everybody for help, so it wouldn't surprise me that once Dog the Bounty Hunter started even hinting that he was coming, I'm sure Seth reached out to him, or someone on his behalf at least. I don't know what the Proudfoots will do. I'm really not sure.
Well, and there was rumor that they're in Louisiana, but I have no verification of that. But there were rumors that they were there for a job.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's true. I have nothing to back that up other than hearing a couple of YouTubers say that that's where they thought they were. I have no idea. So
sure.
I would say they'll make contact with them regardless and talk to them whether they're here or there.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll reach out to them if he hasn't tried already. So that'll be fascinating to watch, and it's all good news. It means more coverage. I mean, we keep having all these stories where, bigger outlets, bigger YouTubers, bigger news are all covering these things. Sometimes for kind of different reasons. Like I don't know if you saw this. Did you see Megan Fox picking up the protective order?
I did not. I didn't get to watch that yet. I'm also going to send you a link to this SF Investigates thing that he's talking about the truth serum. Is that the one you saw?
Oh, sorry.
Is that the one you saw?
No, I was reading about it.
Okay,
I didn't watch a video on it.
I'm going to send that to you right now just so you can take a look at it, because it says he talks about, this could be a really dangerous thing that happens using the Narcan or not Narcan, but the sodium pentothal.
Okay. Yeah. I'd be happy to check that out.
Yeah, but it's a long post, but it's really interesting. But maybe Dog can just get people to talk that haven't talked before,
Oh yeah. I think that's a part. And I think law enforcement will work with him. He's been in the business for a long time. So I think it's a great thing. And it'll be interesting to see him around town. Who knows? Maybe I'll run into him at Publix or something. Who knows what'll happen there? Okay,
Lady Tit for Tat. Send it on Discord. I'll look at it on there. I'd like to see that, the court docs. Let's see. What have we got? Any comments? Let's see. It says Channel 2 just had an interview with Dog.
Yeah, I should have clarified. I was talking about Megan Fox, the journalist. She has a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Not Megan Fox, the actress. So it was interesting. What's interesting to me is when people come into this whole corner of true crime and they know nothing about it. And she came in, she covers, I guess it's the way she was. I hadn't ever watched her channel before, but she was saying that she really covers more like courtroom stuff. Like once it gets to trial, that's the kind of coverage she generally does. And she's one of those that makes like guest appearances on various cable networks, on news stations, like, contributing, journalist or whatever. And she's a pretty big channel. She's got, I think it was around 47,000 people on her channel. And this got on her radar because of the First Amendment issue with Bullhorn Betty. And she's a big First Amendment proponent, like a lot of journalists are, And it was she does an hour and a half kind of breakdown of the complaint with Bullhorn Betty and the arrest and everything, and goes line by line with that protective order. And then also the documents about the arrest and why she was arrested. And she was appalled at what was going on. I mean, she truly, it was a reasonable take on it all. She went line by line, was very much like, well, we don't know this yet, so let's look at this. And then she broke it all down. And, but her takeaway, of course, her takeaway was that she's in favor of protecting journalists and their rights to speak. And it didn't look like, well, welcome in, Mrs. E.
Hi.
And she was, she's a First Amendment advocate. And so she was more articulate and expressing thoughts that we had, or I had about this whole situation and what it could mean for YouTubers and social media in general if she's gagged and can't talk about a case,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she was upset about, or not upset about, but that's what she was concerned about. But anyway, she's covering all that from that angle. That's what the whole thing is about. And but there's also the part where she's like, you can tell that at times she's like, so these parents have a missing child and they're taking a YouTuber to court to get her to stop covering their case. And you can tell it's making the wheels go like, huh. And she doesn't know a thing about the case, really. And or Bullhorn Betty for that matter. She didn't know any of the people. Like she knew nothing of her channel, just what she had researched for her show. And that's one of the points we had tried to make, was that even if Katie wins in court, she loses because she's losing public opinion support. I still can't believe
it would be a nightmare, a publicity nightmare for them.
Yeah, I can't believe they did it unless they truly felt their lives were in danger, which we have not seen any evidence of that. Unless there's something behind the scenes, it's incredible that they made this mistake. And because normal people that do not know anything about this case look at that situation and they go,
what?
So this lady was hanging up flyers and you're taking her to court and you're trying to put, and then, Chris is trying to put a gag order on her, not just like a protective. He wanted a gag order where she could never even cover the case. To outsiders, that sounds
pretty strange,
very suspicious, very, out of bounds. To people in with us, we either have an opinion about them or not. People have already made their opinions, but the people that can still be won over or swayed, it was a huge mistake, I think, in that, at least in a PR sense. And I also did this when Nick Barris, the reporter here in town that's been covering the case, when he first wrote about Bullhorn Betty being arrested, I love to go to comment sections to see what the temperature is on the public. And when you went to the comments, there was a ton under his post about it. And I ignored the people that were fans, and I ignored the people that hated her, because you had people that are like, oh, I followed her for years, I love her. You have the people, oh, I followed her for years, I can't stand her. There's I ignored those. The people I was reading were the type that were like, I don't understand here. Why are they taking this person to court? Why did she get arrested for covering their son's missing? They don't understand.
It does not sound good on their part when you say it that way.
No.
And I think that's pretty funny. I thought that last one was hilarious. The new meet and greet idea.
Oh, I don't know.
my new meet and greet idea was meeting with Dog and us at the Waffle House.
Yeah,
we talked about the Waffle House meet and greet last time.
I mean, I've heard, I don't like to do rumors, but I've heard rumors that we might see a old Dog at court. Right? People have been saying
that's what I have seen rumors of that. Don't know if that's true, but that would be interesting to see because they'll all be there, and that will be a really exciting day, I think.
Well, that was another thing Megan Fox was saying about this because it's coming up on the 10th. She was going to. It sounded like she was going to try to get court TV there to have cameras in the courtroom. And I don't know if that was wishful thinking or she was going to put in a request of some kind, but she was hoping that would go on. And I mean, it will be the first time that all these people have been in a room together, know, because I think Seth is Seth going to be there.
It's my understanding.
Maybe.
Based on what
I've heard Tony and Seth.
But Betty on one of her things today said he was going to be there in support of her.
Yeah, the bounty hunter's there in court TV. Who knows? Nancy Grace pops in. Who knows?
It really could be a must see.
It's going to be really interesting on a lot of levels to see what goes on there. So I don't know. I think that'll be a big thing to watch, and it's really just because of how this. Not just because of the case itself. I'm interested anyway, just because First Amendment stuff always interests me. But it also is related to this Sebastian story and what these people are going to say and the public perception and court of public opinion matters. It's going to get more national attention, no matter how it turns out, whether, you know what I mean? It's going to get more coverage. And it seems like this whole thing keeps snowballing, where, first it's the protective order, then Daily Mail gets involved, and there's the vigil, and there's all this attention from the arrest, and then there's the FBI award, now Dog the Bounty Hunter, and TMZ doing the story, and it's
insane.
It is. It's snowballing into this gigantic snowball rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Whoever is responsible cannot be happy about all that.
No,
I would think, because the more attention it gets, the more pressure there should be on people to eventually get a conviction, or bring this thing home, which is what we all want. We all want this thing done.
Car guy says, "I'm selling tickets to the Sumner County Circus."
I think there's going
to come. Yes.
Yeah. I think when we were there, there were 50 or 60 people. I think
it'll be full.
I think that'll be more than
if
that.
I could fly down, I would definitely do it. I mean,
you would for that?
Okay. Yeah.
You would go?
Yeah. I think it's a little short notice for me to make plans, but
well, you could always drive. We talked about that yesterday.
It's tempting.
Yeah, and maybe they did this. So True Crime Fanatics says and this is your opinion, of course, but they literally lied under oath. It's crazy. You think they would have been smarter than that? I don't know. I don't know if they took. One of the things I've kind of wondered is what kind of legal advice they've been getting, and I don't know, but I would have never advised them to do what they're doing right now. But
they didn't ask you. So.
No, they didn't ask me. I think it's wild. I wonder if they regret it.
Say, hey, what should we do, Mr. E?
I have a question. Did you say hello to everybody? Because I wasn't here.
I probably didn't do as well as you usually do, but I did say hi to several people.
But Olivia B's back. I wanted to say hi,
Olivia.
Oh, hi, Olivia.
One thing I do want to point out is that it's K-Mac's anniversary.
And
she just left her dinner with her husband to come here and be with us.
No, you shouldn't have done that.
I know. I told her not to. She didn't listen.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
She's, I told her not to do it. I said, you need to be spending time with your husband.
Yeah. So. Well, I think we were thinking we were going to do a shorter one tonight anyway, like hour and a half. So maybe you can get back to dessert somewhere, or maybe it won't be too late.
Number 2, I'll have to step back out here in a few minutes. Just so you know.
I thought Rory Logs was funny. It says, and criminals in Tennessee are on notice. This case has to be affecting their nefarious business activities.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Opinionated had something earlier I wanted to point out, and I missed it. Let me see. I did. Okay. So can anyone tell me what channel CP was on today? That's not what it was, but that's a question I'm interested in. And then.
Oh, this one.
Yes, that is it.
I don't see how he can give them a protective order if Sebastian's own father is saying he wants Betty to keep searching.
That's I think that's why we're a company.
Yeah. Oh, so that if he's there, and yeah, I mean, that's going to be there's going to be so many arguments they could make. I don't know how much time they give them, if it's limitless or not. They'll probably hone in on their best arguments, but to me, I think a judge might look at this thinking it looks like an attack to the dad, because it's his person, his YouTuber that of choice that he's wanted to work with. It might look spiteful to a certain, depending on how it's presented.
Okay, it looks like it was Granny's watching today, but I think I saw another person post about it earlier saying that it had been taken down.
What?
The
interview with CP?
Yeah, that I think.
Oh, okay, so
I don't know. I can't keep up with this.
So he did a.
I used to have a timeline, remember, that had every single interview.
No
I can't keep up with it anymore.
500 things a day now, so it would be.
No, I didn't know he did a live.
And today. I heard Don B was in here earlier.
He's here. Crystal says she says, I hope they don't try to silence the dog.
Well, I wonder if he'll
protective order against the dog, the bounty hunter. I'm not sure how well that'll go over.
Do you think we should ask him to be a crime dog?
Yeah, I mean, well, if I don't know, who knows? We might just run into him at the gas station or something while he's out looking for people. You never.
I don't know. He probably blends in pretty well.
Well, if I see him, I'll definitely introduce myself and say hello.
Did we want to go over the Nick Barris post? Because I've got it. I've got it. If you want.
So what we've done so far, we've basically just covered Dog the Bounty Hunter stuff.
Okay.
And talked about kind of that impact and what that could all mean. Kind of about how he'll be working angles with police and on the street, and how he's very personable and good at getting people to speak. It's kind of like what he's good at. That personal relation stuff. It seems to be his reputation. So. He might be able to develop some human sources that maybe police have been unable to, because he'll that celebrity opens doors for people, and when it's used for good, it can be a great thing. There are people that will talk to him just because he's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Okay, and I was out doing some other things with the kids just now.
Yes.
So did you talk about the fact that they're adding even more reward money?
Yes,
because it looks like it's going to be 100,000 now, right?
Yes,
that's what Dog put on his post. It was 100,000 now.
So I guess what everybody's saying is he did maybe a phone interview, and then they took it down afterward.
Oh, that's too bad. I would like to have heard it.
I would guess somebody probably recorded it, and we'll put it back up. I would guess.
Thank you, Tit for Tat. I am charging my phone. It was dead, so I am charging my phone, but I will check it here in just a minute. It doesn't take that long for the iPhone to charge anymore, or at least the newer one. What?
Why did she take it down? Did she say why she took it down?
CB and her graphics. Don't be mad, but just a crazy visual. Should CP and TP become suspects and Dog finds out, I envision Dog affixing them both to coat hooks and taking them to the FBI.
Oh my goodness gracious!
We
don't encourage violence. But
is that violent?
Hanging them on a coat hook by their coat?
Well, I'm thinking like Goodfellas, I guess is what I'm thinking.
No, not coat. Yeah.
So that's a visual.
I think you're thinking of the meat hooks and all that.
Yeah.
That's not what.
That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry, I'm really not with it tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody did. I'm sure that was whoever the guilty people are, they've had a bad couple of weeks. That FBI reward and now this, not good for them. TMZ covering it. It's what we were saying when the Daily Mail started covering this. We were like, watch, more and more outlets that are on this kind of higher plane are going to start picking this thing up, and it would not shock me if eventually, the Dr. Phil's and the big time networks start wanting to do a feature on this.
Did you tell them what I've been doing lately? My research.
I don't know.
Oh, my research lately has been looking at older cases because, we just got into true crime when we started all this stuff. So today I was going through the Dylan Redwine case.
Oh, yeah.
And Dr. Phil was tearing him to pieces.
Yeah, everybody kept telling us
his father to
get into that case and research it. And there's some I mean, there are some similarities to that in this. I hope it's not a 10-year case where 10 years from now we're getting resolution.
Oh my gosh.
I hope that's not the way it is, but it was them trying to build a circumstantial case largely, and that seems to be kind of what's going on here too. You know, that they're piece by piece, and they don't quite have it, because you have to have, you know, they get one shot, and you know, we all know it's the double jeopardy is a real deal, and they're going to get one chance at it. So they're going to make sure that they've got as strong a case as they can. I would guess that they might even feel they have a strong enough case to do it anyway, but they want to see what else they can make happen first before they go. That'd be my guess.
Let's see.
Yeah, how old do I want the case to be?
No, not old at all.
Yeah, not old. Like I want it solved here in the next couple of months. It would be great. And yeah, so that, but yeah, the Dylan Redwine, it was interesting. We've been watching a lot of these people that we've been watching a lot of interviews, especially Mrs. E has, and I've been kind of popping in and out.
Yes.
Watching interviews of people that we know later are guilty to see how convincing they are or not.
Yeah, kind of applying our deception, the
Yeah.
things we've learned from Peter Hyatt,
And
deception detective.
There are people that are really good liars, is what we've kind of been discovering. I mean, there's some people that can really sell it. You know, that the red wine guy, he sold it pretty well.
Well, I mean, you can go all the way back to like Susan Smith. I mean, that Susan Smith,
Not the Susan Smith in our chat.
right? Not that Susan Smith, but that Susan Smith.
We love our Susan Smith.
That was one that really intrigued me, how easily she could lie, and she lied about the whole thing, and you know, was pleading for, you know, her kids to be found and all this stuff, and it was horrific. It was one of the first ones I really remember making me feel so angry with the parent for lying, and just lying to everyone all over the news, days and days.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the chat, I'm gathering that CP requested that was taken down.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know the details.
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody watched it, recorded it, and is probably live streaming it right now, honestly, as we speak. So
yeah, I'm not quite sure I understand the situation, so I hate to talk about it until we know.
Yeah, Susan,
I'm not even sure. Was this a recording he consented to? Is that what the issue is? That he didn't consent or something? Maybe I don't know, but I hate to. We'll find out tomorrow, I'm sure, and if it's y'all will probably find out before we do. But
they're talking
anyway,
about
it's always interesting when any of these three parents talk. That's for sure.
What CB said? She said it's bad because the two creators and Granny were trying to prove CPKP were cleared to dog Seth, but what they actually did was show custody hearing docs if a minor proved CP committed perjury. So they probably were showing the actual documentation, and they took it down because of that.
Oh, is that where that came from today? Because we were hearing this rumor about the docs, and I didn't quite know where that was coming from. Is that where that came from?
They said that she had the docs, and then it went black, and she read them.
See, I saw somebody post like the screenshot. So this is something we were going to talk about.
Yeah,
anyway.
We'll go in and transition into that.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and talk about this a little bit. But we saw the screenshot that somebody had. It looked like a court document. I wasn't even sure if it was real or not, actually, because it was no context, you know. But people were passing it around, and I guess suggesting that meant that Chris was cleared because it was in this motion, which, you know, first of all, we didn't even know if it was real or authentic. So we had no way to verify. So we weren't sure what to make of that anyway. But obviously, I think most people have probably figured out that it's really kind of meaningless. You know, of course, Chris has said in the past that he's been cleared, and then authorities came out shortly afterward and said that no one's been cleared. And I know people are getting real hung up on all this, like who's cleared, who's not cleared. The thing is they just got
somebody
groomed.
Get groomed.
Yeah, Brownie just got groomed yesterday.
Oh, she looks so cute.
It looks so much smaller once you cut all that fur off.
She wants her daddy.
Yeah, I know she does. But so anyway, lots of folks are like, oh, they're cleared, they're cleared, and that's really not not what that means. It would be shocking if at any point they clear anyone until there's some kind of arrest made. I don't think we're going to have anyone just get cleared at this point. And my understanding is it's kind of rare, I guess, anyway, for people to get cleared, especially when they don't really. I don't even know if they know exactly which crimes have been committed, because we don't even know. We don't know if Sebastian's alive or not. We don't know if he's being held somewhere or if he's been unalived. We don't know. I mean, do we have evidence 100% that this, the cameras were knocked off with this scrambler? That would be a different crime. Maybe, so which crime are we clearing people of that's kind of murky anyway.
Well, my understanding, though, it was documents that they verified themselves that they had been cleared so that they could get their temporary custody for the summer or the case. And so they stated they were cleared. They didn't have anything from law enforcement saying these people are cleared. Here's your paperwork. It was something they attested to. That's my understanding of what all was presented. And it's
if that document is real.
Yes,
right?
Yes. If that document is real and that's an authentic document, it's just their word saying they're cleared. I could say I'm cleared. I could say anybody can say they're cleared. It doesn't say that they were cleared from anything.
It was his statement.
It was his statement.
And this is something else too because he said he had been cleared in the past, and I have actually thought that law enforcement may have actually.
He's not going to hold you right now.
They may have told him that, even if it weren't true.
Well, and some people are also saying that he was CPS cleared him. That may be a whole different type of clearing. He might have been cleared from a previous CPS report, and they just did not investigate, and he was cleared. But
CPS has no jurisdiction on a missing persons case to clear anybody.
Right. That's something totally different.
That would be the sheriff's department.
Right. That's a totally different thing.
Anyway, I just don't think any of this matters actually about this clearing and stuff. None of it matters. They could clear somebody and then arrest them tomorrow. It really doesn't matter. They've got the evidence. They know who their suspects are. They know their theories. They're just trying to build their case to whoever those people are. And one thing I hear a lot is like, well, law enforcement said this, and they do. If they said this, then, but law enforcement can and does lie. And so let's say, just theoretically, this is just,
and he's been researching this today.
Theoretically, if Chris were a suspect, if they wanted to kind of like have him lower his guard a little bit, drop his guard, get more comfortable, they might tell him, that you're not a suspect, you're in the clear. They might have told him that, even if they don't believe it. They can lie. Like
there's no rule.
Yeah, I was looking up what are the ethical boundaries for police officers. There almost are none. When it comes to deception, police can say almost anything they want. There are very few limits on if they're doing an investigation or an interrogation. There are very few limits that the law puts on them. One of the very few is they can't threaten the death penalty. And then in like 3 states, they can't use certain coercive tactics on juveniles. But outside of that, like the thing, I've heard this all my life. You probably heard this before too, that if a policeman is undercover or whatever, and you say, hey, are you a cop? They have to tell you the truth. That's just a total myth. That's not true at all.
That's not true at all. Yeah.
It's one of those urban legends that that's just not true. If they can have you in the interrogation room and they can tell you, oh yeah, we've got DNA evidence that places you at the scene, and it not be true. They could tell you the person in the other room just flipped on you and it not be true. There's no legal consequence. It's not against like their code or an oath they take. They can say, now there are some judges that will kind of draw a line and they'll feel like, hey, you really went across a line here. Sometimes a judge can take discretion on certain types of testimony being admissible, but they do allow what they call gamesmanship. And so there are statistics like, you know how like a lot of people have been exonerated, like due to DNA.
This is a great point the lab just made.
Sure.
He said, imagine dealing with liars all day. You've got to even the playing field. And that's basically what you're saying.
Well, welcome in the lab. I don't know if is this Josh, the lab? Is this Josh from the lab?
I watched
suppose?
Josh the Lab today, if that's him.
I watched too, and I'm glad. I loved your story. If that's you, Josh, I loved your story about your the wedding. That was really touching, and I know you don't usually share the personal stuff,
Yes,
but
it is him.
that was really awesome, an awesome story. And I watched your show today too.
Yep.
Actually, I have a note about Josh's show today. He cleared up another thing that we keep hearing, that Seth has to be cleared in order for the Cold Case Foundation to get involved.
Right. I saw that too. That was I wrote that down as well.
Yeah. And Josh said he had said it once before. And I thought, well, I don't know. I keep hearing this. And I thought, well, maybe Josh doesn't know. But he reiterated again that he talked to people, I assume he meant Chris McDonough. I'm not sure. But he reiterated again that he asked about this. And he said, no, that's not necessary. Apparently, all the Cold Case Foundation really needs is the request from law enforcement. So if Sumner County reached out and wanted the Cold Case Foundation to get involved in some way and offer assistance, that's all it would take. And so there might be other reasons Seth needs to get cleared for other organizations, perhaps. But it looks like Cold Case Foundation can happen. Who knows? They might already be involved and just be doing it behind the scenes. You never know. They might have a strategy that way. But yeah, if you guys don't know the lab,
it's great. You got to watch the lab. Got to watch it.
The lab's my favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, it's even over us. So.
I like how you.
I say it all the time.
I know.
He's so concise, and he just does a great job.
Yes. Well, I'm yes, we've always talked very favorably of your show, and so I did listen today, and it was great. It was very interesting. And he was kind of agreeing with what we're saying about this clearing stuff, I think, somewhat, and that it really ultimately it doesn't matter that this cleared business is just it's really kind
rhetoric.
of irrelevant.
It's just rhetoric to talk about, but it doesn't really mean anything.
But I was thinking of this today, how police can lie, and I think Chris might have been told that he's cleared, because I was thinking of if I were interrogating a suspect, let's say, Auntie, let's make you the suspect. Okay.
Uh-oh. I love it when we do this.
Yeah,
okay.
So
fun.
If I come in and I say, hey, Auntie, I appreciate you coming down today. And can I get you some coffee or anything? Or are you okay? Are you comfortable?
I'm good right now.
You're good. Okay. So, I just want to let you know, we've been looking at all the evidence, and we've gone over your statements and everything. And it does, everything really points to somebody outside of the house. At this point, you're really not a suspect in this, and we just appreciate you coming down to clear up a few things for us. So, if you wouldn't mind, could we maybe just start back at yesterday, the morning that he went missing, and just kind of go from there, because we're thinking it's a stranger at this point, and we're hoping that maybe if we go back through this, we can find some kind of detail maybe you missed, or something that seemed unimportant that we could maybe put together if we just go over it one more time. Do you mind to do that with me?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you could do that approach, right? Or you could or if you have to be the honest cop, then you come in and say, hey, Auntie, I appreciate you coming down today. I just want to let you know that we've got a great deal of circumstantial evidence, and almost all of it points directly at your involvement in the disappearance of your child. We've got some eyewitnesses, and we've got a little bit of camera footage that looks like you in the dark. And we just can't quite get enough evidence to put you in prison for the rest of your life. So if you don't mind, would you mind if not call your lawyer, and let's just go over the day that the child went missing? Is that okay? Right. So you'd be calling the lawyer like that, right?
Right.
So that's the thing. I think the whole whatever they've told various people is meaningless, because they can lie. And
I will tell you, that reminds me very much of guess what I want to talk about, the Murdaugh trial.
Oh boy.
When they brought
changed you to Aunt Murdaugh.
I know. Well, they brought him in because once they had the video footage from his son's cell phone, they come back in, and he thinks he's there to get updated on the case. And he does have an attorney with him, but he thinks he's there to get updated on the case. And they completely, in that 15-minute session, he knows by the time they're done, he is the prime suspect. But that questioning is very interesting, and it's really interesting when you can see, you're back here on this camera watching, and how he questions him, and he kind of leads him and, gets him really comfortable, and they're talking, and he's saying, so you said this, and then he said, did you know your son had a video on his phone of the dog kennels, the evening at the dog kennels? And then you just, it's like, whoa. He's saying, so are you saying I'm a suspect? And it turns around really quickly, but that questioning technique can go a lot of different ways, depending on who the cops are and what they're trying to get at. And that was, that was a good one.
Yeah. I mean, we've watched a lot of those interrogation videos, and the ones that are successful are the ones where they make you feel like you're on their side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some great ones out there. Where it's masterful. It's like I follow a lot. I research a lot of the Nashville crime history and stuff like that. And we had a serial killer named Bruce Mendenhall. Some of you might know who he is.
Just give him the background. Yeah,
he was a total monster. He was a truck driver, and so he had victims all over the Southeast. So he was very difficult to catch. Anyway, a detective here in Nashville ended up catching him in downtown Nashville in the interrogation room. So he would, grab these women at truck stops, drop them at another truck stop, pose them. I mean, he was a monster, just a complete monster. I don't even want to go into the details of what he did, but he was,
and I have to hear about it. So now you do.
Yeah, he was as bad as they come, right? So
I hear about it a lot.
The detective was thrilled to catch this guy. And anyway, they've got him in the interrogation room. And even though they had like the DNA evidence in the cab of his truck and all of this stuff, I mean, the weapons and everything, bloody bag of clothes, all the stuff, he was caught, But in the interrogation room, he gives the story that what had happened was there were 3 other truckers out there that had been killing these girls, and that they would take the body and place it in his truck to frame him. And so what he was doing was, as an effort, he didn't want to get accused of the crime, so he would just take these girls and leave them at the rest stops to help the police, so that they could find the girls and alert the families and hopefully catch the real killers. So this was this guy's story, right? Yeah. Well, the detective in the interrogation, and this is actually on YouTube somewhere, but of course the detective doesn't buy it at all. But he goes, he plays along like he completely believes what this guy's saying, and they go for an hour, one victim after another, detailing how it was done and all of this. And of course, essentially, this guy's giving details about these women that only the real killer could know. So in a way, he was confessing, and it was masterful. But if he had been, if he had gone after him, doubting his story, the guy would have clammed up and not said a word. He had to play him, and kept him going and talking. After about an hour, he realized that the jig was up, and he asked for a lawyer. But he had already essentially confessed to 6 of the murders. And anyway, wow. He's a real interesting case and a monster. But those techniques, these techniques that they can use, they don't have to tell you the truth. They can manipulate you. They can deceive you. I've thought of this too. If I ever get accused of a crime, even if I'm innocent, I'm getting a lawyer. These guys are good. They know how to. They do sometimes get false imprisonments because of this kind of techniques. There was a study I was reading about today where, how like a lot of people have been exonerated because of DNA evidence years after the crimes they were convicted of, and they get freed, right? Mm-hmm. They said 29% of those false imprisonments were due to techniques like that, those coercive interrogation room, false confession kind of things. So there are a lot of. It's one of those things that bothers me a great deal, but there are a lot of innocent people.
I can think of a prime example of that. Okay. My cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
You murdered the clerk. You murdered the clerk.
Yeah.
You killed the clerk. You shot the clerk. That was great. That was great. But that's exactly what that in that movie that they said they had a confession, and all he said is, "I shot the clerk," and that's how
See,
Yeah,
I don't
if you
know.
think you're a suspect in anything at all, you've got to get a lawyer. You
Yeah, and
just don't know.
that's what Butterfly Kisses said. She said, I told my kids after watching a few short shows, always ask for a lawyer and insist
Yep.
on it because they'll try to keep you talking no matter what.
It doesn't matter. I mean, there are people that just want convictions.
I don't know.
And so, anyway,
did Auntie just lose credibility by getting her law advice from my cousin Benny, or did she gain more credibility?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But no, that just
K-Mac wants to know why that wasn't a movie for trivia night. I'll tell you what, K-Mac, I have been officially they've taken me off the questions. So now it's going to be you guys, or it's Auntie's going to do it next time, I think.
So let's be
Breezy, you're supposed to be on vacation.
Breezy is crushing on the same man. Thank you so much. Hi, Mr.
My
and Mrs.
vacationing on
E.
didn't
And
happen.
Your what?
She said her vacationing didn't happen. To keep her in prayers.
Oh.
She said earlier
medical
she was having some neck problems, right?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, let's say say a quick prayer for Breezy. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. So, Mr. and Mrs. E, Auntie, Chat, and wonderful Moz, my vacationing did not happen. Keep me in prayers. I had a medical emergency. I'm scared. I'll email you, Mrs. E. I only need prayers, please and thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely, get them from us.
I didn't. I'm so sorry. I hope everything. You'll definitely be on our prayers.
Absolutely.
Actually, why don't we just have a prayer
right
now?
Prayer real quick.
We'll
Okay,
pray
let's
for
do it right
Breezy
now. Let's go ahead and throw Breezy and Sebastian. Want to do that?
Sure. Well, anyway, I'm sorry about the vacation, and I'm sorry you're scared. I hate that. To hear that.
Okay, she had an obstruction. She didn't really want to say anything. Sorry. No, that's the thing. That's what's very unusual, because we don't know your voices or really what your faces look like that much in a lot of cases. But we do think about you guys and talk about you guys offline. And, you kind of become a member of our family. And so if something's wrong with somebody in our family, we want to make sure that we acknowledge it and pray for them and do anything we can to help.
Our kids like hanging out in the other rooms. They know like Breezy and Dreaming and
K-Mac.
They know like all
Tit
these
for
names,
tat.
And
yeah, they know a lot of these.
Yeah.
And also Olivia, I forgot to mention, if Olivia's still here, she has a channel and she's looking for some subscribers, and it's a great channel. She's going to go live in the near future. And I wanted to remind her to put that link up. She didn't have to ask, though. She can put it up whenever she wants.
Olivia has a open. If we forget, you're always welcome to put up your link if we forget about it. But yeah, for sure.
Detroit Rock City just wanted to mention, speaking of the lab, she rewatched one from 5 months ago, the day after Trevor's Nina interview, and I highly recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to watch it and follow the transcript. I caught a lot. That is a very good interview, and the lab would have did an excellent job on that. You're right. I remember that.
I would recommend making sure you don't miss an episode and go back, because some of them I've watched multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff they do over there is good.
Yeah,
all their stuff.
What's the one? Is it? I get them all wrong.
I know.
The box.
I know. I've butchered.
There's the interrogation room.
Witness box. Interview room.
Interview room.
That's it.
And I think his interview room is just Chris McDonough. Is that like his? I'm not quite sure how they do it. And then witness box is usually like the three guys.
The three guys is the one I love.
Yeah.
The three.
But they're all great.
They're all kind of we all like the same ones, because we want the ones that are kind of fact based and don't get into the drama. They're just telling what they think and getting opinions from each other and theorizing.
Well, what I like about the lab, specifically about Josh, is that he just he oozes honesty, and he doesn't try to mislead. If he doesn't know something, he just says, "I don't know," and that's I don't know. I'm not trying to kiss his behind. He probably already left, but
he probably did.
But
he might have gotten uncomfortable with the praise a little.
Well, that's how you are. So I think you guys could be friends in real life. That's how much.
But I mean, I know a lot of you. I mean, there's lots of good channels out there. So I'm happy to always recommend the ones that we think are
right.
good stuff.
And that's one we definitely all catch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, that's right. Tip for a tat. He has a good head on his shoulders. Exactly. That's a great way, much shorter, nicer way of saying it, what I was
Yes.
saying. Yes, Tam says he's a great guy.
Yes, it's a good show.
And did you want to go over the cleared stuff? Did you want me to put or do you want to just talk
I
about
think
it?
I kind of did actually.
I just didn't know if everybody saw Nick Barris's. Did everybody see Nick Barris's post
No, we
today?
didn't do that. We also didn't play the news story I sent you with Dog. If you want to play it.
Oh, I think that would be good.
I haven't seen
So
it.
either one of those.
Did you
if you want
send
to
it
do Nick
to
Barris or that?
Did you send it to? Oh, here it is. Okay, you'll have to give me a minute. You guys will have to talk to people in chat while I'm working on it.
Yeah, well, I know actually a lot of people have hopped on here since we talked about it at the beginning anyway. But so if you're kind of joining a little late, we did talk about Dog the Bounty Hunter at the beginning, kind of what that means for the case in our view. There's a lot of great aspects to it. One is the media coverage. TMZ's already picked it up. More local and national news will start to cover it. Also, just because of the celebrity aspect. He's got a lot of real world experience. I was reading today that he's caught over 10,000 fugitives. I would assume tracking down fugitives and trying to find a missing child in some ways is not that different. You're still just looking for a person. That he would have decades worth of connections in law enforcement and criminal networks. And then just fans, even people that he might be able to get doors to open that other people cannot. Because I was kind of saying earlier that there are people that are just scared to talk to the police, don't trust them, have their own issues with police and don't want to talk to them. They just want, for whatever reason, will avoid police officers. But a star, a guy that they've seen in their living room for 8 years. And, if he comes knocking on your door, you're probably going to talk to Dog the Bounty Hunter, even if you probably will. And so he might be able to get some information. I never really watched his show, but Aunt Dee did, and she said one of his skills is he's a people person and can.
Yeah, I watched every season. I loved it. I've
never really watched it.
I loved his wife Beth. I loved her. She was great. Their family were just. I just love that they're dynamic and how they really worked hard to get the criminals, but they also really tried to work with the criminals and try to get them in the right headspace to not commit the crimes again. And I thought that was really a great thing to do because so many of them were just, they had to turn them back into the police. That was his job, but he would try to get his head in their head and convince them that that's not the kind of life they want to lead.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm sure some of that's kind of set up like the reality TV is, but still, but still, he still had.
We know for a fact that's a setup.
Yeah, some of those things are a little bit orchestrated, with those shows, but still, he does have the real world experience, and he's got the celebrity thing that's gonna help him. So there's a lot of positives, and a lot of folks in our chat earlier were like, yeah, I bet some people are sweating bullets right now when they hear this guy's going to be prowling around, asking questions and knocking on doors. I'm sure that's not exciting to a few people.
Mm-hmm. He is blonde, so I'm already a fan. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, I've got it ready. If you guys are.
Yeah, so let's see the news. This is from
I have to turn it
KRN, so it's Channel 2 in Nashville.
Okay, can you guys hear it? Oh, you can't.
Hold
on, starting over.
Well, celebrity bounty hunter is now joining the search for missing teen Sebastian Rogers and is also raising the reward money. Several agencies, including the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, leading searches for the teen before eventually scaling back. Well, Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, tells News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry his team will get answers.
In the last 6 months, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, along with several other agencies, searched for a little over a week before officials said they were scaling back to focus efforts on the investigative side. Following the search for Riley Strain, search groups like the United Cajun Navy have helped look.
The outpouring was just so strong for us to stay and look for Sebastian. We said, since we're here, let's do it.
But that team withdrew from search efforts with no sight of Sebastian. Bullhorn Betty, a true crime social media influencer, also joined in on the search efforts, supporting Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers.
Our opinions are that a few people have more information than what they're saying.
Since Sebastian first went missing, his father, Seth, has not given up on searching for his son.
The search that we're doing today is a recovery effort. And I'm praying that we don't find him.
Now, celebrity bounty hunter Dwayne Chapman, known as Dog, has stepped in to help Seth.
This is one of the most horrendous cases of missing children that we've ever worked on.
Law enforcement has not said anything criminal happened to Sebastian, but Dog says he wants to find anyone responsible for Sebastian's disappearance.
The bottom line is, if you hurt a child like this, you've got a problem. So that is the main motivation for me to be hunting who did this.
Dog and his team created a new missing persons flyer for Sebastian Rogers. In it, they explain how they're working independently from law enforcement, reevaluating the information collected and following up on new leads. They also say they've added $50,000 more to the reward, making a total of $100,000.
You know, because that is a lot of money. I don't care if you're rich, you know, that's a lot of money.
Dog tells me he believes that by working with Seth, following up on leads, and an increase in the reward money, they will find the answers they've been looking for.
You can run, but you can't hide who did it. We're going to find
Oh my stars.
In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so excited, but
I
that's
know.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry.
It's like I want to just open our show with that.
I have
like
to
every-
put up what
every
I
time.
have to
You
put.
can run, but you can't hide, and all that stuff. Yeah,
That-
I mean, it
that-
makes you
that's
want
what
to
I may have to clip that out.
makes you want to run out the door and go look for the kid.
I have to show you what Troopers want to say because it got me chuckling.
Let's see, Auntie E, can you imagine Dog's entourage pulling into CB's neighborhood? I cannot wait.
Oh, that's great. I'm telling you, I may have to come down there and stay for a few weeks.
I'm telling you, the circus is coming to town a little bit, right? That's what somebody said
Dog
over
is
here.
coming.
Like,
LOL. That was Car Guy.
can I do Rogue here?
Oh, yeah.
Hendersonville is going to be a celebrity circus. I'm in love with Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I would turn into a screaming fan, and it wouldn't be appropriate. I may have to go back and watch some old episodes.
Yeah, I guess
somewhere.
we're gonna have to like.
See what he's all about.
Should, because it gives you a really good idea of the kind of guy he is, and he is no nonsense. He's tough.
Michelle Vincent says, "Dog better be careful. They don't want to get a restraining order on him." I highly doubt.
I doubt that one would fly.
It's my understanding he's got really good lawyers, right? What? I can't keep up with everybody.
I can see I can see CB having a case of the vapors.
Oh, okay, you guys, we're being bad.
In my
We're being
opinion.
bad tonight.
Well, I mean,
It's
you know,
after
it's it's okay to be hopeful, and this is hopeful. It's good
Girl
news.
Popcorn's like, go Dog.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't wait. I can't wait for him to
Oh,
get here.
I will do that right now for you, tit for tat. I will do it right this
Please make a
second.
Dog the Bounty Hunter emoji.
This is
Actually,
so
you know what?
exciting. It's so exciting that he's going to be taking part. And Seth, we are all praying that Sebastian is found. We are. That's glad. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I
Yeah,
don't
congratulations on this new. Yeah, I didn't know he was
see Seth.
here.
Did he
either.
block me? Oh no, there he is.
I'm just praying for Sebastian to be found. Yeah, we had.
Yeah, us
we
too.
are too, bud. We this is good news. I mean, we were saying this. I don't know if you've been with us all night or not, but this thing is snowballing. You know, you go. A few weeks ago, you had Daily Mail pick up the thing, and then you had all the news with the vigil and the gathering of voices, FBI. Now you've got Dog the Bounty Hunter coming to town. Maybe Court TV coming in next week.
A big free speech, trial.
Megan Fox, the journalist Megan Fox, is covering it. She's got a big audience that probably knew nothing about this case. Like, it's the awareness, is growing and growing with the case. I know just by reading and our comments from our videos, we're getting people all the time that were like, I knew nothing about this case until 2 weeks ago. This is amazing to me. I cannot quit thinking about it. And and so TMZ doing this today, and
I didn't know TMZ was in.
Yeah, TMZ covered the Dog the Bounty Hunter angle.
Oh,
And so it's got Sebastian's face, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and just more.
Well,
That's so
More
good.
You remember
More
though,
rights.
TMZ came to Nashville like 5 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It changed things around here. they have an office here now. So that if people are worried about drive-bys now, wait till TMZ gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So it's, and it'll keep building until he's found, right?
Well, I like this one. Dog will follow the real scent.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be. So what's the best way to follow him? I guess it's his X account. Is that the best way, or does he have a YouTube channel or something?
I don't think he has a YouTube channel. I don't know how you can go back and watch his shows.
He's not like now though. He doesn't have like a reality show now or anything.
I want to think they were working on a new one, but I don't know if they've rebooted it or not.
So I know he's got an X account, so that might be the best way to kind of keep up with what he's doing, I'm
working on this for her real quick.
Oh, you're making the emoji.
I'm making her an emoji real quick. Sorry, you guys have to keep talking. I'm working.
I know he still does stuff. And the show aired from 2004 to 2012.
He must be great. Like I don't know if I've seen a negative thing about him. Everyone's thrilled to have him involved. Like everybody's been like, oh, I've been waiting for this. It's those kind of comments. So
there was one. They were supposed to start a new one in 2021. It was called Dog the Bounty Hunter Unleashed. Okay. And it got canceled before it even got started. I remember that. I don't know why, but he also was involved in the Brian Laundrie case when Brian Laundrie, that the one that killed his girlfriend while they were on the road, and that he was involved with that case with Gabby
Petito. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know really what he's been doing since then. I heard his name at that point, and I heard that he was going to have a new show, but I guess it got canceled before. It came to TV, but hopefully he's going to bring a lot of attention to this.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, anytime he wants an interview, he'll get one. If he wants to talk to the press, they're going to talk to him.
Absolutely.
The local media will do that anytime he wants. So if he's got an announcement or he wants to do a search or whatever he wants, he'll get it. So that's great. How's that emoji coming on there?
I'm working on it.
It looks good so far. So that'll be good. So
it was too big. I have to make it smaller. Okay.
Yeah. So we've kind of got
keep talking.
We've kind of made our we go with the crime dogs as our group here. So
let's try.
Kind of fits. Let's see. So Jan Hold'em says, if law enforcement interferes with dog, then we will all know that there is an insider, in my opinion. That's another thing that we didn't quite talk about, but with the Megan Fox coverage on this, it really looks bad for law enforcement on that arrest, because when she goes through that whole protection order and what they could arrest her for, it wasn't in the protection order.
Not at all.
And even the way it's written is like blast. Because she blasted them on her YouTube channel or something. That's how it's written in the complaint. And it's like, blast. That is such a...
It was basically because of the hashtags too. Because she hashtagged them. That was the reason that it was called
did they make a wrongful arrest because they don't know what a hashtag is? Right? Would that be crazy? How they work,
They just didn't know.
They didn't understand how they worked?
Well,
I don't know what's going to happen.
Black and white on the papers do not say anything about social media. It just says that you can't come near them. The orders were very specific and there were checked boxes. There wasn't anything written in.
Yeah.
It was just black and white statements that were checked. So they're pretty much a standard restraining order.
And that it's contact.
Right.
So there were a couple of things she talked about in that video, and it's worth watching anyway, the whole thing. But she says contact. So it would mean like she would have had to make an effort to contact you through email, video,
phone call,
right? In some way, going out of her way to make sure her message got to you, and which is totally reasonable in a protective order. But on her own channel, they have to seek her out. They actually have to go to her channel to see what she's saying and monitor her I mean, it's wild, you know, that arrest happened for that. And what was the other other than the hashtags? Oh, it was threatening to sue. That was the other thing she clarified is people said,
Anybody
oh, well,
can threaten to sue anybody.
Right.
That's not a threat.
She said, when you're talking about threats, it means threats of violence, not just threats like I'm going to, you know, sue you, or I'm going to say bad things. I'm say bad things about it. It has to be physical, like violent types of threats, and a threatening to sue wouldn't fall under that at all.
Right.
So I don't know how it'll play out, but I think there's going to be a variety of lawsuits going forward after all of this, and it would not surprise me if my tax dollars go to Bullhorn Betty.
I can see where she could win the case.
And it was avoidable because this arrest looks like it was what it looks like. Kind of how we talk about how Katie, right or wrong, was losing the PR war because it looks terrible for her to take a YouTuber to court over a protective order because, when, Seth is out there doing vigils and rides and getting Dog the Bounty Hunter and the FBI, and she's busy with these little nonsense protective orders. It's a PR nightmare for her, and she's losing there. Similarly, Sumner County, whether they thought they had a right to arrest her or not, they look like that they arrested somebody that's been calling them corrupt because she was calling them corrupt.
And we
to
talked
the outside world, that's how that appears.
Right.
It looks like they were trying to silence a journalist.
Right. It does. That's exactly what it sounds like. But we also talked about that too. Once they receive that protective order, they have no choice but to arrest. I don't think that they can't say, well, I'm not carrying out this protective order, charge. I'm not doing it. The police can't do that. Once they receive that from the detective and the detective said that the restraining order has been broken, they are responsible for getting her. Now they will be complicit because they did get her, but they aren't the ones that make that choice. It's the person turning the order in saying that there's been a violation, which was the detective.
Right. It's not a good look.
No, it's not.
Because unless there's something we don't know about that protective, but it's pretty clear. The hashtag thing, I just wonder if it's a misunderstanding about how hashtags work.
And this is something too that somebody just said about that. The papers don't say anything about not mentioning their names. That came from YouTube. There was nothing out of line.
Well, it came from. We were some of the people saying that because we were in the courtroom.
They did say stuff like that in the
but
courtroom.
It wasn't in the paperwork.
But
exactly.
But it wasn't in the actual documents, and that's what they go by.
Right. And you all heard them say it, but at the same time,
they did say something about speaking the minors' names or something along those lines. But like we said, we couldn't record, so we were pen and paper. But they also were clearly saying he said contact before he did that whole laundry list, and he was like, you cannot contact directly or indirectly. And then it was the list of all that stuff, and some of it was involving the minor children of them. So it got kind of, it's kind of murky. And like we said back when we covered it, we were like, well, he didn't really address her as a journalist, like her putting videos up. He didn't draw a clear line in that hearing. And so we were like, well, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if they're going to try to arrest her for doing this or not. And then of course they did. But anyway, so all of that is going to be interesting to watch. It's playing out soon. It's September 10th is going to be with Bullhorn Betty, and I assume all the Proudfoots and Bowersocks and maybe Dog the Bounty Hunter and who all all kinds of folks are going to be in there interested. I know Bullhorn Betty's hoping to get local media. I know that Megan Fox, the journalist, she's very interested in this case, and it sounded like she was going to try to. I don't know if she was hoping or she was saying that she's going to request Court TV cover the case. So I don't know.
Good. Well, and it's like Seth said here. He said, it stinks a First Amendment violation to start with, and it does. I mean,
it does.
If you look at it, they're trying to stifle her voice as a journalist, and whether you like her, don't like her, that doesn't really matter. It's really what it stands for, and that's exactly what it is.
It's disgraceful.
It is.
It really is.
And
No matter what you
Aw.
think of her, you know.
Yes, exactly.
We've got some gifted memberships. Did you guys mention those?
No, I just
I
I'm
did.
busy working on emojis. I didn't do the best job, but there is a dog, the bounty hunter emoji now.
I don't think
Okay,
anybody
so
gets the
Lady
emo-
Tit for Tat gifted a Crimecast membership.
Thank you, Lady Tit for Tat. Let me do our thing.
If you received it, please thank Lady Tit for Tat.
And then also
Not
Ginger
Nancy
Girl
Grace.
did it too.
Oh, I hadn't gotten to her yet.
I know. That's what I'm telling you.
I haven't seen it. It's not. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. No,
Wait, am I crazy?
no. I see another a $2.
Is it from a while ago? Did we miss Ginger Girl's gift?
We may have.
That's
Ginger
funny.
Girl, thank you so much. She gifted a membership and Udi got it. ODI.
Oh, I'm
So-
so sorry. We missed it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, we just haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, so is KP subbed up to Betty? Just saying. Like, it's very funny. So actually, that is something I kind of wonder. Like,
It's way down here.
you know, when you get a
I'm
protective
so far behind.
order, if you're seeking out the person that you're getting a protective order from, to contact them in a strange way, you know, by going to their channel,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that looks great either.
Right.
And now we've got another one.
Aw.
Michelle gifted a membership. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Michelle.
I'm still trying to find Ginger Girls. I could see it on one screen, but not the other. And Ginger Girls, here, guys. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. And it looks like so Udi got Ginger Girls, and then it looks like K-Mac got the other one. So awesome. And then Tit for Tat, I don't know who got yours, but thank you guys all so much. That's very sweet of you.
Yeah.
Because we were really close to like 100 members. So we were pretty excited. So I think you just put us over the top.
Oh, is that right? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys. And so we have to do the welcome to the crime dogs. I know everybody gets irritated when I do this stuff, but I would like to do that because they deserve it. Oh, wait, you have to take that down for 1 second. Take that down,
You can
Auntie.
still see it. I didn't do it.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
You can still see it.
Welcome. Thank you guys so much. That's so sweet.
This to me, this sums up kind of the whole point with
Now
the Megan
little
Fox thing.
Elfig did it too.
Let me
My
do this real
goodness.
quick. Michelle Vincent says that's why Megan Fox is reporting because of the First Amendment. She is saying that if that is done to her, it could be done to every YouTuber.
That's right.
And that's exactly
It's-
the point.
We
You should always hope that even the people you disagree with on every issue should have the right to speak, and that sums it up perfectly. So that's really the point. Especially that Megan was focused on, and that's very interesting to me as well.
And now, thank you, little Fig. That is so sweet of you. I'm trying to catch up.
And then Don B was put up something about the search that was going to be later on September. I was looking for that to put that up. I'm still looking for
We
it.
have to go finish. I think we're gone visiting colleges that weekend, I'm afraid, if it's the 14th.
I think it is.
Oh, that's right. We are.
Yeah, but I was going to put the information up.
Oh, please do. Thank you, little Fig. And also, if you got gifted a membership by any of these wonderful people, please give them a virtual hug and please say thank you. We appreciate you guys so much. That's very sweet. And I'm going to do our little thingy real quick. It only takes 10 seconds. So bear with me if I can find it. I can't find anything anymore. Okay, here we go.
Still looking.
Welcome to Mysteries Crime Dogs. And that was named
you,
by
Alfred.
K-Mac, who's celebrating her anniversary tonight. And happy anniversary, K-Mac. And K-Mac husband.
Purple World says the detective heard that in court, but apparently didn't see the actual order. That might be part of it too.
The
If they didn't
14th.
actually read the order, because it's the paper that matters, you know.
Okay, where's Don B's thing? Did you put it
I
up?
still
I don't
have
know.
not found it. I'm still looking.
SS Butterfly Kisses says it does look prejudicial against Seth, in my opinion. I think that is part of the appearance there for sure.
There's definitely a lot of stuff out there that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there, and
Oh,
that's
here
the
it
one
is.
they picked. you
Car
know.
Guy put it up. I was looking for
Oh.
Don. It was Car Guy.
Car Guy says Terry Lynn is setting up a public search for Sebastian, meeting at 230 Long Hollow Pike, Goodlettsville, Tennessee, on September 14th at 11:30 a.m. So yeah, good to continue to do the searching. I'm sure a lot of folks will come out for that. We are out of town that weekend, so that won't work for us. But
we're in the process of looking at colleges.
So,
okay, so Shirley H had a question, and you want to just kind of reiterate. I think she might have joined a little
Sure.
bit later.
Can you tell me if you've heard anything about the Proudfoots being cleared, as it is all over the YouTube and Facebook? So I'm not exactly sure where this started today. I first saw it on Facebook, like a screenshot from some court document. So we didn't even know if it was. I still don't know if it's real or not. It may or may not be. But basically, it was just a motion to file. It seems like in a custody hearing, and at some point for Faith, and he. So it really doesn't mean anything at all. Even if he was told that he was cleared, or he believes it. The police have come. Craddock came out, said nobody's cleared. Because Chris made this claim before that they had all been cleared, and then shortly after that, Craddock did a interview where he reiterated, no one has been cleared at this time. He also, says all the usual stuff like there's no foul play, no evidence of this, we don't know anything. He always just kind of plays it like we don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
But also said that no one has been cleared, and that's the way they're going to do it all the way up to the end. I don't think they're going to clear anybody until someone is arrested or Sebastian's found. I just don't think they're going to do that. And I think part of the reason is our state's history. If you go back and look at the Holly Bobo case, was a huge story here over a decade ago. And people that they initially cleared ended up going to prison. And so, and then the person that they named as a suspect went free. And so it kind of created a big mess. It was a lot of controversy with the DA and TBI. And so I think, if I had to guess, I think they've probably just now go with the policy of, we're not naming anybody cleared. We're not naming suspects. We're just, everybody's a suspect, basically, is the, I think that's why. I think because it was such a big story in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And this is a good point. They said Justin made that if you haven't been accused of a crime, you can't be cleared of the crime.
Right.
So, nobody's been accused yet. No one's been accused.
Well, something I want to go talk about real quick, if you don't mind, is just the whole critical thinking. I mean, we're all in these Facebook groups and we see all this crazy stuff all the time. Just because you see something that has someone's name on it, stating something, like if it's like messages, for example, that doesn't mean that is actually the person that said that, because it is easy to make a Facebook profile with any name you want. And you can message yourself and send messages back and forth. Because I saw one today, I was like, that doesn't look real. I don't think that person would have said that. I'm not going to get into the rumor because there's no reason that, to include that. But I just want you guys to really use your critical thinking and see who's putting these things out. Because there's definitely, there's just definitely a wave of distractions right now that really have nothing to do with finding Sebastian. And just kind of really go with what Mr. E said the other night about critical thinking. You might want to just go over that because it was great. I just loved it. I did. I loved it. I thought it was wonderful.
And Garrett, I wrote down that name. He said we should look into the Richard Jewell case.
Richard Jewell. Garrett missed it. I've been
Atlanta?
looking in.
Isn't that Atlanta, the bombing?
Is it?
Richard Jewell?
I don't know.
Wasn't that the guy that was the security guard that got accused of and kind of destroyed his life? Where was that? Was it the Olympics?
Was he the Olympic, the bomber?
Richard Jewell? Isn't that? Maybe I'm thinking.
Yes, that's it. That's who it is.
Yeah, and it kind of ruined his life, Yeah, I know.
He's the one who alerted police of the bombing, and he discovered the backpack containing 3 pipe bombs on the park grounds and helped evacuate the area and saved many people from injury and death.
I remember.
For months afterward, he was a suspect.
I remembered something that I wanted to tell this story because Nana was a little bit confused about it. So I wanted to tell this story. So back in the, it was March, right after, because she was a little confused about everything that we were told at the beginning. When we first learned. So do you want to tell the first part and then I'll jump in and tell my part? about, just
Sure.
everything that
so
happened.
when we first learned about the Sebastian disappearance, we were following it, and there really wasn't a whole lot of information
Well,
out there.
He tried to hide it from me because he knew I'd be really
Yeah,
upset.
I heard about it right before bed, and I knew with it being a child with autism that she wouldn't be able to sleep. So I thought, well, maybe the kid will be found the next day, and then of course it didn't happen. So anyway, we were following the case for the couple of days, and then because of some posts from a friend on Facebook, we realized that we had a friend that was connected to the family in some way.
Well, there's a reason. Someone was posting. Okay, so every morning I would get up and I would search. I would search because I wanted an update. After I found out, I kind of got, I want an update. I want this child found.
I mean, you had it on the brain because every day you were talking about it.
Right. And so
in our,
it was the very
county.
first thing every morning. So then so I know you've heard the story a million times, Auntie. I'm sorry. But anyway, so when I'm searching his name, I see somebody posting his picture, and I still have it on my phone somewhere, but I see someone posting his picture, Sebastian's picture in like Philadelphia or somewhere. I think it was, or Pittsburgh. Anyway, and they said, "This is my son. He's 13 years old. He's missing. His name's Sebastian." I'm like, what? First of all, the age was wrong.
Right.
And, so then it was in, how the people do the fake post in the buy and sell. They were using Sebastian's picture for that. So I had put a post up on my Facebook page about it. And then I reached out to
But did you tell them where it was from? The state. It wasn't even in the state. The state.
Right. It was in Pittsburgh. It was in Pittsburgh, and it was crazy. It was like in these yard sale groups, because you can search a post on Facebook, and what will happen is it will come up everything that has that name in it. So anyway, so this person said they were in Pittsburgh and this was their child and he was missing. And I'm like, no, he's missing in Hendersonville. He's not missing in Pittsburgh. So I, of course, look at the lady, and apparently she was a scammer. So I got really mad, and I put it up there and said, everybody report this person. This person is taking this child who's truly missing here in Hendersonville and trying to say he's missing in the Pittsburgh area, and this is her child, and it's a scam. So I reached out to I want to think it was the original group that I joined. I think it was Finding Sebastian. I'm not sure. The very first group that was out there. And I went and I posted that in there, and the admins declined me. Well, the admin messaged me and basically said, I can't tell you why, but you need to take that down, or I can't approve this. You need to take it down. It's part of the investigation. And I was like, okay. Right. And I got really scared. And so I had a friend that I knew for a fact had been at the house during that time. And I reached out because, long story, the friend knew them. I reached out to her and said, hey, I just wanted to tell you this. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, involve myself in the investigation or cause any problems. And so she reaches out to them and asks them about it. Anyway, long story short, she lets me know, or we talk, and I say, if we can do anything, if we can provide food, if we can, anything we can do to help out. Because at that time, they were not allowing locals to search. Right? Is that what it was? Right at the
right.
Yeah, at that time they were discouraging it. Okay, so it turns out this lady is the lady on Facebook who was messaging me, and I don't have my phone because I'm charging it. But anyway, it turns out she was a little cuckoo and had gotten arrested, for bringing a gun to school to protect her child. And
some of these people are going to probably know who we're talking about.
At any rate, that's who I was messaging with, and my friend told me that the lady had nothing to do with this family, and they don't even know her, that kind of thing. Long story short, and I said on the phone, I said, have you guys learned anything? Do you know anything about what's going on? And I said, it's weird. I think about this kid day and night. I don't even know his parents. I don't know his parents' names, but I'm praying for them. And she said, okay, what I know. And again, guys, this is hearsay. So, but I just wanted to clear the story up because I confused people the other night. She said, help me remember everything.
Well, you said, is there anything we can
do? Can we provide anything? Can we do anything? But that's not even it. I'm trying to remember. I said, do you know anything? Do you have any leads? Do they know anything? And she said, well, it appears that he left without shoes. He took a flashlight. The dog scent stopped at the end of the driveway. And I asked I said, well, what are the parents' names? And because I didn't know, because I said I felt weird, praying for people not knowing their names. And she said, well, I can tell you their first names, but they don't want their last names out there. And that was the end of the call after that. And I got off the phone and felt pretty funny about that because I thought that was odd. So that is my story and I've told it. You guys can go back to my other ones. I've told the story like 5 times since we've been doing this show. Yeah. But I wanted it to be clear. Now, that's know.
That's the more detailed version.
That's a very detailed version, but I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that person was misinformed. I will say though, that about a month ago, we were also told by someone else that's a really credible source, like really credible, that the scent ended at the trash cans. And I forgot about this, but we had been told back in May that the scent by an official.
So three separate people that
don't know each other.
That don't know each other locally to our faces. These aren't like anonymous people.
And these are people that would know. Let me just put it that way.
And in their own different ways, yes.
Said that the scent ended.
So if Seth's in here, maybe he can clear that up, or if he wants to. If he doesn't want to get involved, I understand that too. But that's I just thought that was kind of common knowledge, but everybody seemed very surprised by it the other night.
That's what we thought. We thought this was kind of something that was out there. We didn't realize that was news, I guess, to anybody. Because we don't always know what's being reported or told. And I guess we kind of figure if we've heard it,
everybody's heard it. We just thought it was common knowledge. So, but that's basically it. Sorry about all that.
Anyway, she was just trying to explain where that came from.
Why are people saying I'm sorry?
I don't know. I saw that.
Why are you sorry, Troopers, Mom? You didn't do anything to hurt me.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. You never know who people are responding to.
Yeah. That's very sweet.
Thank you. Keep up the chat.
Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? So, okay.
Trooper's mom said, undoubtedly, I got called out and disrespected on a particular platform and wasn't even there. LOL. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even have to be there to get called out.
Well, I'll tell you, what I find is if you don't watch those types of things, you don't know about them.
So. That's right. It's like it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And you know what? This is a great question, Zach. Why didn't they do a more thorough search at the landfill? And this just hit us the other day. I think one of the people watching said maybe they found what they were looking for, and that's why the search ended. So maybe we don't know what they were looking for.
That was Charisse and Misty both came up with that at the same time, and that was one of those thunderstruck moments to me where I was like, oh.
It did. I know. I was like, oh.
They found what they were looking for. We were just kind of thinking funds dried up or they called it off for whatever reason.
Maybe they didn't need to search anymore.
Maybe because, you're either looking for Sebastian or you're looking for evidence in that kind of scenario. And maybe it was just evidence. They found the trash they needed.
I haven't seen you in a while.
So that's very interesting. I'd love to know what that was in that landfill if they found something there. That would be. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to know.
Do you remember there was a hit at the landfill? Yes, I do. That was for Mr. E, but I remember that too.
A hit at the landfill?
I did not remember that.
Yes.
For the dogs?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I bet somebody was sweating that day too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just,
now I think they later said it was a false.
Yeah, but
I don't know what to believe anymore.
But they can lie. They can lie to all of this. Were you here when we were talking about this? About how police can lie about everything? They don't have to tell the truth. They can lie to us, and it's fine. It's part of their job.
Okay. Seth, thank you.
Seth Rogers says, I was told there was no scent found by the dogs by the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, but I unfortunately don't trust currently.
And like we said, they don't have to tell the truth.
No, they don't. They can hold stuff back, and they can hold stuff back from parents. They'll give the parents some and hold back others. So
no scent at the trash cans, or no scent at all? No scent that ended at the end of the driveway, or no scent at all? I'm sorry. I know I hate to be interrogating him. I'm just, there's so much confusion.
There is a lot of
And if you don't want to answer, Seth, that's
and
fine.
like
I don't
he
care.
only knows what he's been told, and he doesn't even know if that's reliable or not. I get that. I mean,
I think
no scent at all. He said
No scent at all. Okay, thank you, Seth.
So that's interesting that we haven't heard that way. That's very interesting.
We've heard so many different stories.
Yeah.
Like I said,
These
you guys have
dogs-
to be discerning and careful with what you're watching, because
Well,
you get your head filled up with stuff that's not necessarily true.
but if you watch the mob video, you hear Chris specifically tell the direction. He even shows on the mob video with the lines, the directions that he says that the dogs hit on. So, it's very confusing. It's very confusing. I know, Mr. East, you saw the mob video about that, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the dispatch stuff where on the day of, you can hear them talking about what the dogs are doing. And it's just the thing with the dogs, it's hard to know if they're picking up these false scents, and how, like Jennifer Coffendorfer, the FBI agent, her belief is that it was just a mess, that the dogs were all crossing paths, and that's why there's so much confusion about.
And it very well could be.
She just thinks it wasn't executed properly with the dogs, and that's why you've got these different, these different results. That's her, at least that's her theory.
Michelle, you can mention, you can mention that. Thank you for asking me. Of course, you can mention the mob crew here. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Our thing with creators is you can say good things about other creators or neutral, but we just don't want to attack anybody.
We just want to keep that. We just want to be nice.
But the ones we like, we have no problem talking about those and saying, yes, we watch them. And Mob Crew is one that we all watch too.
But I mean, if you recommend somebody we don't necessarily think's a great source, we probably will just ignore the comment or move on.
And Trooper's mom's got an interesting point too. We don't know what clothes they were given exactly. Okay, guys, I thought I won the battle. I thought I won the battle with the gnats, but they're back, and I don't know what else to do. I've tried everything. I'm so tired of them. I actually have to step away. Will you guys talk to chat? I have to go put little E to bed, so I'll be back.
Well, so Babs 22 says, I'm thanking God in happy tears that dog is getting involved. I wish Chris could too. Chris. Oh, McDonough. Yeah. I do too.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And Chris McDonough, is he the head of the Cold Case Foundation?
I
Or
don't.
does he just work with the Cold Case Foundation?
I don't know how they're organized. I don't know.
But that would be, and I don't know what constitutes them getting involved, other than what the lab said. That they did not have to have a parental request. He mentioned that today.
Did you watch them talk about the D. Wagner case?
Yes.
Did you watch that whole thing where so I guess they developed some sources and things, and they do public pressure kind of stuff. My favorite part of that whole, if you didn't see that on their channel, it was great. But D. Wagner she her husband, and they knew Dale Wagner had taken her life all along, really. But it took them 2 years to get him arrested. And then they found her about a half year after that. So they had built a circumstantial case. So it can definitely be done. But one of my favorite technique that they did was they knew Dale was the suspect. So they bought a little piece of land right near his farm where he'd have to drive by every day, and put up a big billboard that said something like, help Dale bring D home, or something, with a picture of him with his wife and a phone number, send tips here. So it was kind of like a little troll to kind of rattle Dale, so he'd have to drive by that billboard every day that he came in and out of his farm. I just thought was next level trolling, and then part of the strategy with that was just to keep him shaky, keep him uncomfortable, and
kind of unnerved.
Yeah, keep him unnerved. Let him know that people are still watching him, that he's not getting away with it, and That's just police work. Make people uncomfortable. Like bring in Doug the bounty hunter's making somebody uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
they're not going to like that.
There's not a bad thing about him becoming part of the case and being involved. There is not one bad aspect, because it's going to bring more eyes, more ears, and whoever is responsible is going to be a little more uncomfortable and a little more unnerved, and hopefully he'll shake some trees and make something happen.
And who knows? I mean, he's got real life experience in getting things done. Who knows how the case gets broken open? All it takes is one. It just takes one person to say the right thing to the right person, and it can bring the whole thing down. What were you laughing?
What Bear said, I want to see his face when Dog knocks on his door, like he did the laundries.
Well, they do have that no trespassing sign. I wonder if he'll just ignore that.
I think when you're coming in, you can knock on someone's door. They can ask you to leave, but you can still come on.
Sure.
And knock on the door.
It's
not illegal.
No, it's not. No, you can go knock on someone's door. I know people think that they can't, but you can.
Yeah, that's it. I just can't think of a downside about that. And hopefully also even the court case is going to bring more eyes and more ears to Sebastian's case, even though it's a little off topic and not specifically about him. The case is going to generate more eyes and more ears and more attention. So hopefully more people will pick it up on the news media and more people will know about it.
Yeah, and he's and now that they're also ponying up some extra money, so now it's $100,000.
Juicy. It's pretty juicy.
So, yeah, I mean, because there's a big difference. 50,000, 100,000. That's a different looking number.
Oh yes, I mean, well, like Dog said, he said it in the video. 100,000, even to somebody that's got money, $100,000 is a lot of money.
Oh yes, yeah. No, nobody's sneezing at that. I mean, so if you were here a few episodes back, you might remember me saying this, but my belief about what the reward really is it's not a reward. It's the first offer in a negotiation.
Absolutely.
It was the FBI going, hey, look, we're about to bring down some indictments on some folks. We've got a lot of evidence. We're ready to wrap this up. So why don't we just go ahead and make a deal now? Here's your $50,000 reward, and let's start talking. And what they're hoping, because what it appears they believe is that there are two or more suspects with guilty knowledge of what's happened to this child. And nobody wants to go to prison for the rest of their life, which will happen to all of them if it goes down like we think it would. And one person's going to get a deal, but it'll be the first one that comes. And so they can negotiate immunity. Walk away with $100,000 in cash in a little paper bag they pick up at Starbucks where they meet their FBI contact, just for a little information and a finger pointing, and they go on with their life. Somebody, I think, I think somebody's going to crack in this at some point because the heat's just ratcheting up. It's not going down.
Right.
And then they'll probably float that for a couple of months with this reward. And if that doesn't get movement, then they'll go to their next phase. I'm sure that there's a plan after that. And I don't think they're playing around with this.
Well, and Grace says dogs solve cases even the FBI couldn't solve. So that's also another aspect. And then Shirley says the first one that talks usually gets the best deal. And you've said that before as well.
I mentioned the Holly Bobo case. That's what happened there. The other two guys got, I think it was life in prison. He got 10 years or whatever it was because he flipped on them. So that's how it goes. You get, and once they get that first person, they don't really even need the second one. So that's why once that's done. So I don't know how well these people all know each other. If the people involved.
There's one of the crime dog. That's Baby.
That's Bailey there. Yes.
Can I get my chair, please?
That's exciting, though. If he can come in and solve this case, and the FBI has not been able to solve it, that would be just amazing.
Yeah, they're basically offering somebody $50,000 for the pleasure of not spending the rest of their life in prison.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's 100 now, right?
Well, 100 if you add the extra.
Yeah, I only show the crime dogs when they've been groomed. So they went yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
So Sunset Gazing says, no, he's not the head of Cold Case, but he's had the head on his show. Interesting man. Is that the guy Billy Little? Is that the guy that's really
Maybe he's had him on before, and they've talked about it.
Billy Little is an impressive person.
He really is.
Sorry.
A lot going on in the chat here.
I know.
Yes, I can't keep up.
I can slow it down.
Okay, well,
I learned how to do that.
I have to have my my Tennessee nurse
Oh.
highlight. I got to highlight at least one comment from Tennessee Nurse tonight. Perhaps CP will speak with Dog the same way he spoke with Chloe and all the other females who've been talking trash to you who are trying to help search.
I
Yeah.
don't see that happening.
I'm going to guess not.
You know what she's been up to? She's been trying to get Jennifer Coffindoffer on her show, I think.
That's right. Thank you, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Look,
We
look
really
at the
appreciate
sticker. Isn't
that.
that
Thank you so
cute?
much.
Look at the sticker. You can't see it
Oh,
on
yeah.
yours. Isn't that cute?
Why can't I see the sticker here? Can
Look.
they see it?
They can see it, but you can't.
Oh,
Because
I can't.
StreamYard
We're in
stinks.
Screen, yeah, because we're in
Oh.
Streamlab.
I didn't realize there were actual stickers.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. How cute is
Okay.
that?
I just see the word super sticker. I didn't realize that there was. That's cool.
Cute.
Yeah, so I know everybody's excited about this, and I don't know what's more exciting, having him or the FBI reward. Maybe the FBI reward, but it's pretty good. Dog being involved is good.
Okay, I thought I knew how to do it. I don't. Sorry. I can't slow it down. Thank you, Dreaming. You're so sweet. You guys are so good to us, I swear.
Yes, and Elfig said, I lost it. Hang on.
I'm trying to slow it down.
Sometimes they get a deal and not the money if they're involved in the crime. Yes, you're right. Sometimes they'll make a deal with the first one to divulge what happened, and they may get a deal.
Oh, wait, maybe it's there.
See, my guess, this is just a guess. My guess is that there are some people directly involved, and I think there's probably a couple of people that just know what happened. And those are the people,
All right, I get
that this might target. And people that weren't there, but maybe involved in different ways. But yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that it's a group of people that know what happened.
Okay. I thought I could slow it down. You guys are just going to have to suffer. I don't know how to do it.
Wow,
Let's see.
I'm still looking.
Julie Tracy says, love Dog. He has a particular set of skills that allows him to find people Ellie can't. Loved it when he found Andrew Luster of the Max Factor family. I read that today. That is so cool. Oh, and Tennessee Nurse says, I'm still working on it. We chat a couple times a week. She's always helped me with questions that I wanted to hear straight from the trusting source. She's really helped me. You're so sweet.
well, you're going to be like a show producer. That's kind of what they do, right?
She can be our producer.
Well, yeah, that'd be great. Of course, we'd love to talk
And
to her.
C Star says Chris McDonough is investigator director of law enforcement relations.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we can just go to the website.
Right. What kind of researchers are we?
I
We could've
know.
just gone over to the website.
And then Justice James just put up about the search on September 14th at the old Kmart off Long Hollow in Goodlettsville. Just as a reminder.
Okay, Tam, I did that.
We have done this.
We've done this. I'm telling you, I've done it every night. I'm out. I might have another bleach, but I'm almost out of bleach. I've done it every night. I just don't even know what to do. I even tried the fly paper, and unfortunately, Mr. E and Middle E and Big E have all run into the fly paper and gotten it stuck to their hair.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Yes.
And
That's no
Charlene,
fun.
did you see what
Oh, I'm
Charlene-
sorry. I took
That's
it away
all right.
from you.
I'll click on Charlene's again, and then we can click on yours.
Yeah.
She said, "I think Doug made himself very crystal clear. He's going after who is responsible. He did."
I think he did.
I would be afraid, honestly. If
was
it were me, if I were the person that was, involved in this, I would be very afraid.
They're coming to town wanting to do truth serum and stuff.
That's crazy.
Wow. I mean, that's some
Rubicon. No.
I told her. That's what I told her to get.
Let's see. TAJ88 says, "Do you guys think the Proudfoots will speak with Dog?" I kind of think they will, even if it's briefly.
I mean, if you have the chance to meet Dog the Bounty Hunter, you're gonna. I mean, or not. What would your choice be?
I think they will talk to him.
Of course, most people will, given the opportunity of meeting a celebrity, will meet the celebrity. However, I will say that I had the opportunity to hang out with Pamela Anderson and Chris Rock the night they got married, and I chose not to.
Chris Rock married Pamela Anderson?
Yeah, in Nashville one year.
The Tootsie's downtown.
Well, how many days were they married?
I have no idea. But what happened? Well, anyway, long story. I had a connection that invited me to come hang out and drive in the limousine and go bar hopping with Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson. And I said, no, I'm tired.
You said Chris Rock. You meant Kid Rock.
Oh, did I say Chris Rock?
I mean, I was like, they got married.
No, Kid Rock. Sorry.
I didn't remember that.
Kid Rock.
Well, years ago, you remember I did a day of extra work for a movie called The Last Castle.
Don't try to look him up. He's not listed.
No, not listed. I don't think you can even see me in it. I'm like in the fight scene.
This one's funny.
In the prison yard. And so in extra work, if you've ever done, it's terrible. It's just
it was like $100 and you basically.
I mean, it's so boring. You're just sitting around all day, basically. But anyway, it was a Robert Redford movie and all this and all that, and so it was fun to do it. But there was like we could have gone to a after party, like a rap party hosted by James Gandolfini, and we didn't go. I didn't even know what The Sopranos was.
Oh my gosh!
I hadn't watched it at all, and then afterward, once we found out the show, we were like, oh my gosh, we could have been. And we had later heard from other people that were extras.
We were idiots.
That he was wonderful. Like he was going around saying hi to everybody. Like just
paid for everybody's drinks and dinner.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's another like just really dumb. Oh my gosh, we should have gone.
Or the time I met Dan Brown and didn't know what the Da Vinci Code was.
Yeah,
I met Dan Brown.
That is very similar.
And the person I was with was just gushing all over him, telling him how much he loved his book, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've got a book out? I didn't think anything about it, but yeah, then I found out later.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a lot of celebrity encounters. So.
That happened. Did you see Don B?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Don, we're always happy to meet up if you'd like to. If you're ever here too, we could meet up. We'll
actually, I don't know if we'll be able to do that if we'll have time, but
we are coming up there.
We're coming that way.
Yeah.
That's where on the 14th. That's one of the places the kids looking at is up in that
doing all those
up in your area
right now. So that's that weekend we're going that direction. So
that'd be a fun place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and actually I was going to ask Don B if he was going to head down here next week.
Yeah.
I wondered.
I mean, Dog the Bounty Hunter might be there. You just don't know.
I mean, what if it's the who's who of true crime? I'm just.
Well, Ginger's going back to one of our old episodes. If they don't meet with him, then that's another red flag.
Ginger girl, it is. We should do another red flag episode.
Well, see, this is another thing. So that news story that we showed earlier with KRN, there was like the 3-minute news thing about Dog. You're watching it, and so you got to think like regular people that are not like true crime, like in it every day. People like us. They're watching the news and they're like, oh yeah, I remember this kid that went missing. And they're hearing Dog the Bounty Hunter. Then they see Seth in a boat doing a search and they see him doing a prayer with a guy, and then they see Bullhorn Betty and they see Dog the Bounty Hunter. And subconsciously, you've got to think those people are looking at this going, where's the mother? She's not in this news story at all. Why is the mother not in this news story? Right. This is where like they're losing big time on this public perception stuff because they're not out there in it.
Right.
They're it's just, why wasn't she even, was she even contacted about the story? Did they give another no comment? Are they going to wait another couple of days with some kind of prepared statement of some sort? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm reading all of people's.
Public perception matters, and they're losing on that on every front the last couple of weeks.
Okay, Semper's mom says Last Castle's a great movie.
Well, thank you very much. I
yeah, you were a prison guard and a prisoner, so
yeah. But I looked for myself. I don't think you can see me in any of it.
Well,
it was
if
like
you
the
see
fight
anybody
scene,
that's really tall, it's him.
like with the trays where they're in the prison yard with the fighting with the trays. That was the scene I did. But
they said if he'd gotten there sooner, that he probably would have gotten lines.
Yeah, that's what they said.
And then Sammy has questions. You might want to read that one. You'll appreciate it.
Let's see. Mr. E was listening to your you're cleared interview with Aunt E on 1.5. You should do it later. It was great. I'm sure they took CP riding around an Ellie car for reaction. Not to be buddy.
That's a good thing. And then C Star was in the grocery line with Sean Penn. That's pretty cool.
Well, and then somebody else said that they met. True Crime Fanatic said she met Triple H. I'm not even sure who that is. Peyton Manning and Ludacris working at the airport. Now I know who Ludacris and Peyton Manning are, but I don't know who Triple H is.
And then this is a great idea. R. Taylor says everyone turn an outside light to a green one until Sebastian's found. That's a great idea.
That is good.
Yeah.
And also Bear said, don't feel bad. Met Jelly Roll before I knew who he was. Other servers were freaking out. I was in a restaurant one time with Taylor Swift, and I'm like, I don't know who this is.
And she didn't know.
My friends were freaking out, and I said, "What? That girl that sings country music?" I didn't know.
That's like Porter Wagner.
I remember that story.
When we were in college, he waited on him, and he's like, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Porter Wagner." He said, "I don't know who that is." He had no idea. I knew all about the Porter Wagner show. He had no clue, and he waited on his whole big party they'd been hunting.
And then Trooper's mom said, I was the first female security guard at the new Music City Center. I met many stars. I bet you did. Let's see.
Yeah, I bet so.
And Michelle says she doesn't think that they'll speak with Dog. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
And then R. Taylor wants to know if we're going to the search day. And unfortunately, that is the weekend we are supposed to be.
College stuff.
We were scheduled to go to a college visit that weekend.
Middle East got to look at some colleges.
And then Don just wants us to know that he likes Opry Mills.
Oh, listen what car guy said.
It is a good one. Well, thank you, car guy. I think that's a little bit of a joke.
It's a little tongue in cheek, I think.
Joke.
Knowing car guy, he's a big jokester. Yeah. So but that's very sweet.
Well, it was great to meet you guys too.
My stars, that mine have all been Walking Dead stars. So,
true.
Well, you should tell them who you got to take care of for a whole day. They might like that.
Oh well, I mean, I don't know how many Walking Dead fans you have, but Norman Reedus, I got to take care of him one day at Walker Stalker Festival. I was at his booth. That was awesome. I've met a lot of them.
She really has.
I've met a lot of them.
We've been down to where they film a lot.
Yes.
And we've been to Stranger Things where they film there. We find all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes. Another one of our many interests.
Well,
I'm obsessed. Yes.
Yeah.
And True Crime says she loves Norman. Norman's great. He's
a sweet person. Oh, Tennessee Nurse has something for you.
Yeah, I started to pull this up earlier, but Mystery, we need to chat about indirect contact. I have a criminal attorney in my family and personal experience from this. Posting about that person is an indirect contact.
Interesting.
Well, that's interesting. So that might be a problem for her.
I guess it's all in how it's worded and interpreted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so posting about that person is indirect contact. So who's it a problem for? It's a problem
if it says direct and indirect contact or only direct contact.
I see. Okay. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
And Tennessee Nurse said, can you share some of the colleges of interest?
I think you know Tennessee Nurse. I think you know Mr. E's top choice.
I have to be careful not to push him too hard in that direction.
Because he'll go the other way.
Right.
And then K-Mac says, I met Mr. and Mrs. E, my heroes.
Aw.
And then Crime Dog, Crime Dog.
Well, Shirley's actually met Dog.
Awesome.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's awesome.
While he was hunting for somebody. That's cool.
Let's see.
Yes, Rogue, we are not as much celebrity stalkers, but we were walker stalkers. We just went to where they did a lot of the filmings. We got very fortunate to meet some of them.
We've met a lot of celebrities in weird ways. Rogue, this is pretty awesome too.
Let's see. I had a backstage VIP in 1997 in Cleveland and met Elton John. He is my favorite artist. I was 16.
Oh, wow.
I would have lost my mind.
That's pretty cool.
I would have lost my mind on that one.
Somebody was saying that it doesn't say indirect contact. They did say that in the hearing, but I don't know if the paperwork says that or not.
I don't know who Triple H is.
I know.
That's interesting.
Triple H, his wife Stephanie McMahon.
Isn't he a wrestler?
Beautiful. Oh,
I think he's a pro wrestler.
Now, my son would know if he was.
I think he's a wrestler.
She said.
I only know the old school wrestlers. You know that.
That's he knows them all. She said they're also considering a hashtag as tagging someone, but a hashtag doesn't tag them. It
only works for the algorithm.
Yes,
tagging is completely different. You have to have a YouTube channel to be tagged. So, true crime fanatic Peyton Manning was coming through. He was going somewhere to play golf. I was also there when Obama came through. Interesting.
Yeah, I've met Peyton Manning. Also, I was.
You should tell him the sweet Peyton Manning story about the pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's obvious at this point. I'm a Tennessee fan, but when I was in school, I was there for the Peyton Manning years, and he was always so good with the public relations. Always understood how important that all was. And, you would camp out for the games, to get the tickets or whatever. As a student, you'd sleep out all night for those tickets. So all the kids are, we're all camped out for, to get these tickets for the Florida game coming up. And Peyton comes through with pizzas and goes through the whole line with just tons of
and this is before he owned all the Papa John's.
Yeah. It's like his sophomore year or something. He was new. He wasn't like a superstar yet. I mean, he was kind of getting famous, but he wasn't and he comes through, talks to every fan, thanking them for coming or whatever. And he's brought hundreds of boxes of these Papa John's pizza boxes for all these kids, So he always understood how to embrace that fan base, and it was, just brilliant at PR.
Now I'm in awe of Grace. Now that is amazing.
I met Judge Judy at Mel's Diner in Naples, Florida. Wish she could question CPL.
I'll tell you,
if it doesn't make sense, it isn't true.
That is something we use on the kids all the time.
That would apply to this case a lot.
Nana sat next to Woody Harrelson at Rage game in Charlotte. That's awesome.
That's really good.
That's cool. And then Julie Tracy said that she was where they filmed Cape Fear at the college she worked at, and she met Juliette Lewis.
Was very close to Martin Scorsese. That's
cool.
Awesome. I've
very good.
Thank you, Kelly, for letting us know he is a famous wrestler.
Yeah, I thought it was him.
I was going to say, Middle E is as interested in Tennessee Tech too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, is it more of a technical school, or because I'm not sure for what he's choosing for his career, if that's going to work for him?
Triple H is the CEO of WWE Wrestling. Okay.
Everybody's seen some interesting celebrities.
I know, this is fun.
Yeah, it is.
This is fun.
He has the theme song, The Game.
So Rogue says, I just hope she has a good attorney. We looked the attorney up.
We did look the attorney up. Actually, we didn't look the attorney up. Tit for Tat did.
Oh, that's right.
Sounds like a good
actually one. I'll go. Let me see. Do I have my phone handy? Because you guys will find this very interesting. No, yeah. I'm gonna text what Tit for Tat sent me.
Yeah, this is
to my phone.
Tom B said
Don B.
VHB attorney may walk in and own the local courts when the day comes. Who knows? It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be.
Yeah, Don, let us know if you're coming.
Yeah.
And Holly said she met Aaron Tippin. I remember Aaron Tippin. He did live in Bowling Green for a while. I don't know if he still does, but he did live in Bowling Green.
Do you remember your friend who sat with Garth Brooks and talked to him forever and didn't know who he was?
Oh, my friend? You mean my husband? Yeah. I'm in Hendersonville. I'm in my big sister from my sorority in college, her wedding. And so we're at a bridesmaid luncheon, and we were at this it was called the Hendersonville Inn a million years ago. And it was a little hotel out, it was so cute though. And there's I went and I was gone, and my husband says, "Do you know somebody named Garth Brooks?" And my mouth fell open. I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, "He sings this and this and this." And he goes, "Oh, well, I didn't know who he was." And we were sitting here talking on the front porch for a long time. And he was asking me where I was from and all this stuff. And he said, and then his wife said, "I'm ready to go." And they got in the car and left. And he shook my hand, said, "Garth Brooks, nice to meet you." And I was like, how did I miss that? One of my favorite singers, used to be anyway. And yeah, I totally missed him.
That's pretty fun.
That's pretty
I
good.
love that story.
Right there in Hendersonville.
That was a pretty good one. Let me see if I've got. So for those of you who wanted to know about Bullhorn Betty's attorney, Mr. E will just read this off to you.
Sure.
Seth actually has a famous story too. Seth said he served Snoop and 50 Cent back in 2002 during the Up and Smoke tour. Sold them some blunts at the gas station I worked at. Nice.
That's hysterical.
Okay. Seth wins the celebrity game tonight, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he wins.
To Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent
That's some good ones.
That's really hard to beat.
I don't think anybody could beat that.
I don't know. That's
it was
pretty
in
good.
Columbus, Ohio, he said.
That's amazing.
I can't read this.
Okay, here, I'll pull it up on mine so you can read it.
I think Seth wins.
Yeah, Seth definitely wins. Let me see if I can make it
I've
bigger.
got it now. Terry Frizzle graduated summa cum laude from Liberty University with a degree in justice administration and business administration. Mr. Frizzle served the state of Tennessee for 35 years, serving 3 years in the Tennessee Department of Correction and 32 years in the Hendersonville Police Department, including 28 years as a police investigator, detective, and police administrator. In 2010, Mr. Frizzle retired as the chief of police. Mr. Frizzle graduated from the FBI National Academy in 1990 and earned his JD from the Nashville School of Law in 2002. He has practiced law since 2003.
What do you guys think of that?
I think he sounds good.
I think, and he's going to, so he knows his way around the county too, spending that much time in Hendersonville and that kind of experience and connections and such. So I think that's very interesting.
Oh, Babs recommended you need to check everywhere for old food. They had an onion, I guess, stuck somewhere, and that was causing their gnat. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. That's a good. We have checked, but not like everything. So that's a good point. I'll check that. Sorry. Let's see. Judge Judy was scarier. That's funny. But what do you guys think about that? I hate to jump past all this stuff. I'm so slow.
Trooper Mom had a good one too.
What?
Local Hendersonville doctor 50 years ago was our family doctor in June, and Johnny Cash sat in the waiting room several times with them when she was 10 years old. Wow. That's a good one.
I never saw Johnny Cash around anywhere.
And he lived not far.
Yeah. We used to go, as teenagers, the thing to do was to go cliff jumping off their back property. It was called Cash's Cliffs. And so you'd go cliff jumping on the lake back there. But I never saw them at all.
Oh.
I'm sure we were.
Oh, yeah. So tomorrow's news is about Seth and Snoop Dogg. So you guys just get prepared.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's your new scandal of the day.
Oh, gosh. So stupid.
I know.
Sorry, I'm just now catching up to all these. These are funny, guys. It's nice to just, kind of have fun and talk about silly things sometimes. Jeannie went to school with Priscilla Presley.
That's good too.
That's a
Ooh,
pretty
that's
good one.
That's
Seth
really
is
good.
conceding. He said Johnny wins. And Grace, you were asking about the court date. I believe that's September 10th.
That's September 10th. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
How would you know each other?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Lived around different parts of the area. Nashville and Sumner County. different
Ooh,
places.
Don B. Don B's been doing this research. Look at that.
Specialize in civil rights.
Very,
Ah.
very nice.
Nice work there, Don
Yes.
B. Yeah, I mean,
Judy's. I dated a guy that once looked like George Strait.
Yeah.
We pulled up to get gas. Girls went bubbling over him, wanting his signature. He tried telling them. He said, "Wait until they read it," and he must have written something funny. Oh, that's funny. That's a good one.
that's good. That's good.
Oh, Trooper's mom said she cliff jumped there too.
Oh, I think everybody did in the area, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, teenagers pretty much, it was just kind of almost a rite of passage. The last time I jumped off of it, my feet touched the bottom, though. It was like a 60-foot, I guess, or so drop. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm not jumping off this again, because that was
Your
kind of
feet
scary.
touched the bottom?
Yeah, like
Of a
after I went into the
60-foot?
water. Yeah,
Oh my Lord.
I was like, oh wow, like enough where I had to kind of like bend the legs, when I
Okay.
hit.
Wait, is Lisa Campbell saying that she met Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin?
Oh,
Because
that's-
if you did, you win.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good too.
But did you sell?
I
them
don't
a blunt?
know. It's all relative.
That's funny.
And it's-
But did you sell them a blunt?
Yeah, I
the
think
only way
I
to
still
top
think
it.
this is hard to top.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, I mean, that's crazy.
I think it's the combo. It's the 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg together. That's
But did they sell? They sold those at stores? Is that right? Yeah.
Judy said he actually wrote his name and said thank you, and they just kept looking at the paper as they drove away. He wrote his own name, and they thought he was George Strait. That's great.
so. This is a good question too, Ginger Girl. Do the Bower Sox and the Proudfoot still have their family friend as their lawyer? So, do they have a lawyer listed on their? They don't, do they?
Not
On
that
this
not
upcoming?
that I can see. I can look again, but I looked today.
So when we saw them, we don't think they had a lawyer there.
Seth's ruling Rat Pack winner.
Rat
Yeah,
Pack.
okay.
Did she clarify that she did actually meet them?
I mean, we could just start typing names in the chat.
Yeah, let's not do that.
George Michael.
Right.
I don't think that would win.
The day we were there, they did not have a lawyer presence, but they might in the future. I don't know, and they might be getting advice from a lawyer. I don't. I mean, they don't have to. You're blown away by something.
Read it out loud.
See, SS Butterfly Kisses says, my husband met Florence Henderson and he got a kiss from her on the lips.
Okay,
AKA
I'm tearing up. I'm tearing up because I love the Brady Bunch so much.
Yeah, everybody. I get a little
pretty good.
slow.
That's
Florence
pretty good.
Henderson was great.
Sorry. Woo.
Oh, so Justin met Kevin Costner.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Kelsey.
My dad owned a nightclub in the early 90s, and James Brown and his daughters used to come to his club in our house. I was like 7 and had no idea.
My God.
That's great.
That's the best.
Oh, I've been to Comic-Con. Comic-Con's great. Seth
Yeah,
said
that
you've been to
counts.
Comic-Con
Sure.
once. Does that count? Yes, it does. You meet all kinds of people at Comic-Con.
I don't even know how this.
I saw Lee Majors, the Bionic Man. I saw all kinds. I saw William Shatner.
How did we even start doing this?
I don't even know.
How
She
did we
got
start
flown
going down
out.
the-
Do you remember when she got flown out to the Walking Dead thing? She won some big Walking Dead contest and
yeah.
got flown out to LA to watch the Walking Dead live.
There's seriously not many fans, bigger Walking Dead fans than Auntie.
No.
There's not. I'm right up there with the top 10.
I met Brad I'm taller than Brad Paisley. I met him in person once too.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Well, was Lisa the one that said Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, because she said she was born in 1983? And
They weren't
she-
alive. Okay, then I'm confused.
I think she just said that.
Oh,
Okay.
she was. Oh, okay. Well, that would have been pretty good. That would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Frank
Who was
Sinatra?
it? Who was it that when we went to go see you do one of your festivals? Who was it that the kid that Middle he got to meet that he liked? That's in Guardians.
Oh,
Merle.
Merle.
Um,
Yeah.
What's his real name?
I only can think of his name is Merle Dixon.
Wait. Michael Rooker.
Yes, Michael Rooker.
I had to think of it.
Yes.
So
He's
we've gone off the rails.
been in a lot of stuff. He's been in a lot of shows.
Ginger Girl did the twist with Chubby Checker. What is going on, you guys?
Yeah.
He was having a concert beside the reception hall.
Oh, wow.
That is crazy.
Wow. At your wedding reception. That's incredible.
cool.
R. Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah,
Now
good.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Who do we keep seeing at the airport? It's the mean one, the mean guy from Karate Kid, the mean, not Johnny, the sensei. He moved here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kept seeing him at the airport. I met Kevin Costner and Reba McEntire.
Oh, this one's funny.
I know quite a few
23.
famous people, but won't say who because they're just people. I used to be in motivational speaking and had a lot of mentors. Fell asleep and drooled on someone's shirt. LOL.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are just people, and so many times when you meet them in person, you realize that you maybe still admire them, but boy, it's different after you meet them. It does change your. I mean, you still, but if they're down to earth, it makes it even better.
Yeah, sometimes you like them more, sometimes less. It just depends, generally you don't want to meet your heroes, stuff like that.
Do you guys know Bryant Presley, Elvis's nephew? Me and him are friends, and he told me a lot about the family. That's cool.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I
don't know
and
him.
then this one will impress you. You ready?
Sure. Met Rodney Dangerfield.
That's pretty
very
cool.
good. Yes.
Oh, Roy Rogers at Hollywood Park in 1978. That's a cool one.
One of my good friends in college was in the Chattahoochee video. I've got we've got all kinds of stuff. I saw Alan Jackson, made me think of that. Okay. Should we get back on topic or wrap it up?
Well, yeah, I think I mean, it's actually fun to talk about this.
Fun.
I know, a little break from
Gina Stevens said they were in the movie with Kevin Costner and Reba McEntire, Is There Life Out There? And Reba McEntire was her neighbor when she lived off 109 in Gallatin. We know that on the lake.
We know where that is.
What do they call that now?
Star
it's like
Ranch.
Star Ranch, yeah.
Yeah, they sold it and made it
looks
into
like
like a
crap.
buffet. It's a buffet now.
It
Sad.
looks awful. I hate all that crap over there. It just looks like
It was beautiful before.
it looks like a campground or something. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's supposed to be.
Is it our niece that cries just hearing her name?
Yes.
Because she loves her so much.
Mhm.
Yes.
Niecy cries when she hears
just
that
hearing
name.
her name because she loves her so much.
Oh,
Yes.
Seth's enjoying it. So I'll tell him some other good stories. Let me think of another good one. Who's another one that I like a good one? A good story.
Well, you
I mean,
have quite a few.
I have a
actually,
lot.
if you want to do them, but
Jan said another. She said a whole bunch of old wrestlers came to my dad's bar and signed his pipe work. The Sheik, Jesse the Bod, Rock and Roll, Buck the Zoom Off.
yeah,
That's kind of cool.
the Iron Sheik, I guess that one I remember.
Yes.
Let's see. Hold on.
Bobby Vinton.
Bobby Vinton's cool. True Crime with Sweet Melissa.
First rock concert I went to, I got to go backstage for Crosby, Stills and Nash because my best friends was like distant cousins with Stephen Stills. So we were like hanging out in his dressing room with like his
That's cool.
daughter or something, I think. I was just all kinds of intimidated and shy and didn't want to say a word to him, but it was just crazy. To me, it was crazy seeing like Crosby walking through, and all this. And that was pretty fun.
Okay. I'm not sure who R. Taylor's talking about. I missed it. R. Taylor's talking about somebody else and I missed it.
I missed it.
Oh.
Mystic Firefly, she says, I'm in the movie Haunting of Molly Hartley.
Okay.
That's fun. Let's see.
Oh my gosh, Trooper Mom. That's a great story. I was 18 and pregnant at Crystal Gale and Kenny Rogers in concert at Municipal Auditorium. Called up on the stage because my hair was to the floor too. Like
oh, like Crystal Gale. That was the first thing I did when I moved to Nashville. Is I went to Kenny Rogers' cocktail party, and I didn't get the nerve up to go up to him, even though he was as close as Mr. E is to me right now.
I remember seeing Crystal Gale in the mall one time, and that hair. It was just like to her shoes.
Oh, didn't you see Reba at Walmart all the time? You and your dad.
Yeah, Reba's one you could see around.
Yeah.
Don B said, "Who remembers watching Ric Flair wrestle in high school gyms?" I remember Ric Flair.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh yes,
that's funny. Let's see.
Yeah, most of mine are country singers and stuff like that.
Let me think. I'm trying to think of one of my impressive ones. I don't know, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty impressive.
I met Dave Chappelle. I don't have a good story about that one though.
Like I said, all of mine I've met were Walking Dead. I met most of them.
Have you ever met Batman, Mr. E? No, but we met Shazam. Remember? Shazam's probably gone now because he was pretty
I've been
old.
to the Comic-Con when Adam West was there. I saw him. Met Napoleon Dynamite.
You met John?
Yeah, I didn't get anything. I just didn't I took a picture of him, but not with me because I didn't want to pay extra. But he was real nice. He said hello and he was really nice.
And that's what with Michael Rooker, you could just go talk to him, but if you wanted a picture, you had to.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
well, and my son's favorite was the Green Power Ranger. He's no longer with us, but he that was one of his favorite ones. He met him twice and got his autograph. He loved him. Played the Green Power Ranger in the Power Ranger show.
You missed mine. At a request from Chaz Palminteri, I sat with him to see his premiere of Bronx Tale. He was handsome and got so numerous. I made an work excuse and left after 15 minutes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. Because that's more than just meeting. It's like being at an event like that too. You know?
Read that, Annie.
Give me some of your tots, Annie. That's great.
That's one of her favorites for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great movie.
There were years where she wouldn't watch anything else.
One year, my kids for their birthday, we had a Napoleon Dynamite birthday, and they both got the vote for Pedro shirts, and it was like a big thing. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we were telling Middle E he should dress up as that this year and do the routine.
Oh, that would be awesome. Like a talent night or something.
No, just for Halloween. Just go down the street with like a boombox playing that song and doing the dance.
Yes, K-Mac, that's the one that my son loves. He's got 2 or 3 autographed pictures with him, and he just absolutely loved him. He was so devastated when he passed away.
We used to love Days of Our Lives.
Oh, yeah.
Sam's Pretty Paranormal. I met and took a picture of the guy who plays Brady Black on Days of Our Lives soap operas. LOL. Met him in Vegas. LOL.
Brady Black.
I don't want to brag, but we've met Nick Barris.
We haven't. How did this
I don't even know how this started. I don't know. I'm having fun.
This thing just went off the rails, but it was fun to kind of do that.
Here's my screensaver with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Can you see your name, Ding Dong? Is
No.
your name on there?
No, my name's not on there. Nowhere.
Okay.
No, just Jeffrey. Just me and Jeffrey. There he is.
Because you're a stalker.
Yeah.
No, I was at the gas station. He was at the gas station.
And why were you at the gas station?
Because I was chasing him down the road. But I was pretending I was going in the gas station.
Hey, maybe
getting gas.
You can be our expert on these protective orders, maybe.
Our Taylor's bucket list is Oprah and Trump.
Oh, my bucket list is Trump for sure. I'm still wanting to go to a rally before he quits rallying, but I'm not sure if I'll make it or not.
Thus far this week, I've met 1 actor, 1 alternative rock singer, and 1 country singer.
Wow.
Very good.
Very cool.
Well,
I'm trying to get through all these. Everybody's got.
I know. There was.
It's funny how many people have stories, like that. It's cool.
Let's see. I'll tell you why our lighting and cameras are higher if you want to know. Caroline Ray taught us years ago that you do not do cameras down low; you do them up high.
Yeah.
So that was.
We were with her when she was getting some autographs or whatever. And
What are you laughing at?
What Sam put up.
But that's what she would do. People would come up and want to get pictures with Caroline Ray or whatever, and it was like a line. And people would start to take a picture down low, and she'd go, "Oh no double chins." And you've got to raise the camera. We don't do that. And
yeah, always.
She would do that with every single person she took a picture with, and so we always remember that. And it's true. If you shoot from up high, it's less. It's if you shoot from down low, it makes the jaws just look enormous.
Rogue met BHB and JLR. That's cool.
That's good.
And Trooper's mom said, "POs for Aunt E."
Right.
Hey, he was very nice. He actually even had the flu and still took a picture with us. I am not a stage 5 clinger. I am not.
Yeah, that's good.
I was actually following one of my friends who was in front of me. So I didn't feel like I was the first one, but there was a whole group of us there for this Walking Dead event. None of them saw him drive by in his car, but my friend and we beelined it down to the gas station because we knew he was a smoker. And so we knew he was probably going to get cigarettes. So we got to the gas station. He pulled in to get gas and he went in to get his cigarettes first. And when he came out the door, there we were. And he said hi, took a picture with us and talked to us for a minute. It was awesome. And by the time that he was done, all the people were starting to come down there because they knew that we didn't come back, and none of them got pictures but us. It was great.
That's the only time you saw him, right?
I've seen
not
him
on set.
Besides working on set and like filming, and then also at Walker Stalker, I did pictures with him. And then this
did
last
he
time
remember you? He'd be like, "You're the lady that chased me to the gas station."
No, he did not. He did not. The Walker Stalker was before the gas station. The gas station.
Okay.
And that's when he was living in
I know.
town.
That would be a great gift for Auntie.
What?
Read it.
Which one? No, I don't have. I don't carry binoculars, but that might be a good thing to have. I don't see a lot of famous people where I live now, but I take trips to places where there are. So,
hi, Misty, and then Sam says, "LOL." Cameras are always up high. That is what Caroline taught us.
Yeah,
and then
it was hilarious the way she would do it.
That's why Mrs. E maybe looks so good in the photo.
She would do this little thing. And
no,
it was just very funny.
Oh, yeah. And Tennessee Nurse said she came in late, but did you see the photo of the order that said they were cleared? So you might want to just mention that again. What did you see the documents? What she's wanting to know.
I saw the same thing. I think you saw just the photo of it. So we just didn't even know if it was authentic or not. So we just kind of didn't know what to make of it. But even if it is authentic, it sort of doesn't. I don't think it really means a whole lot. I mean, they're not cleared. Law enforcement, Chris said it before, and then law enforcement came out a few days later and said, no, nobody's cleared at this point. And Nick Barris confirmed today that no one is cleared. Actually, we were going to pull that up. I don't think we ever did.
I've got it. But actually, I have to do this real quick. Auntie, you're going to love it.
Elfig says, I chased as a young girl with my sister, left mom behind, going after the Menudo Spanish singers group. LOL, ditch mom, and she was mad.
Do you remember Menudo?
Oh, yeah.
Menudo on ABC.
I haven't heard that name in a long time, but
that's where Ricky Martin got started.
What was funny about it was at first you think, oh, I love Menudo. And then you start noticing that after a few months, they start changing them out. And like they kept them a certain age and size. And so when they started getting older or going through puberty and were getting too big, they would change them out for another one. And I was like, I was always so confused.
No, the original Menudo is the best. Actually, I want to say goodnight to K-Mac and happy anniversary again.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about the anniversary thing. You didn't have to do that.
Please post no one is cleared. At Mystic Firefly, I actually almost put that as the title of this.
Yeah, no one is cleared. That's what
no one is cleared, and he talked me out of it.
Well, the bounty hunter thing was pretty exciting, though.
Okay, I can pull up the Nick Barris thing. I've got
Yeah,
it.
so maybe we'll do this and kind of talk about it a bit, and
And then be done.
yeah, and then maybe
We'll just wrap it
close.
up. I had a lot of coffee, so I'm wired.
Well, Babs met John Snyder. He kissed her on the cheek when she was 11, and she almost passed out.
I mean, I did love some Dukes of Hazzard back then.
Bo Duke.
What I don't understand this one. Oprah Winfrey was on trial here in my hometown, and she did her show from the auditorium while she was on trial.
Trial for what?
T. Colin Davis was on trial here in my hometown. Not that
Wasn't
matters.
that in Texas or whatever?
Was she on trial
Yeah, like
for what?
wasn't that about like something about the beef industry or something?
Oprah?
Yeah, wasn't there something about the beef industry with
What
her?
would she have done that would make her be on trial for the beef industry?
Because I think that's how she met Dr. Phil, was while she was doing these trials in Texas.
Oh, I thought she was saying she was on trial.
I think she was.
Why was she on trial?
I can't remember. It's been so long ago.
Well, while
But
you're
I do
doing that, I'm going to
remember-
pull up the Nick Barris.
I do remember those shows in that big giant auditorium she did. I don't remember exactly what the trial, but I think it had something to do with the beef industry. Like she said something. I don't remember what it was.
I do not know.
Oops, I hit the wrong
I
button.
can wiki look it up here real quick, I guess.
Okay, so here we go. This is the Nick Barris post if you want to read it. I'll have to zoom in.
And that was today, right?
11 hours ago. Mr. E, you want to read it?
Sure. The latest on the Sebastian.
Can you guys see it
Oh.
okay? Okay. I'm good. Go.
Yeah. The latest on the Sebastian Rogers case. It's now been more than 6 months since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville, Tennessee home. The Amber Alert and investigation remain active. Several of you have messaged me asking a couple of questions. I'll do my best to answer. First, some have asked if the reward for information in the case has increased. We know the FBI has posted a $50,000 reward, and there is talk that another private individual is offering an additional $25,000. I've reached out to that person, but have not yet heard back, so I cannot confirm. Hopefully it's true. The larger the reward, the better chance someone who knows something maybe comes forward. I have heard that money is being raised to help put up Sebastian missing billboards across the country. Second, some have asked if the TBI, FBI, or Sumner County Sheriff's Office have cleared the Proudfoots, Sebastian's mother and stepfather, in the case. This may stem from something that was written in a court document. I do not know the exact context, but I can tell you what I've been telling you all along. No one has been cleared in this case as authorities consider any and all possibilities, knowing new evidence could surface at any time. That being said, there are no suspects in the case. There's a big difference between not being cleared and being named a suspect. That's kind of a key part there.
Mm-hmm.
I check in weekly with sheriff's investigators, the EMA director, District Attorney Ray Whitley, and the TBI. They tell me Chris and Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian's biological father, Seth, are not suspects. They've been questioned, their stories vetted, and there is absolutely no evidence at this time linking any of them to Sebastian's disappearance. None. I know many have their suspicions. That's fine. But suspicions mean nothing without evidence. DA Whitley is ready and willing to prosecute anyone once evidence links someone to what happened to Sebastian, but for now, such evidence simply does not exist. Hopefully, the reward money will help lead to tips that break the case. Call 1-800-TBI-FIND, share.
Okay. So what part were you saying that's interesting?
Well, actually, a lot of it's sort of interesting, but he does say this a lot of, he's almost copying and pasting a lot of his older posts.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
He
that
just
real big.
edits little parts here and there, I think.
No one has been cleared.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, not being cleared and being named a suspect are that's different.
Okay.
So anyway, that should really kind of clear that up, and it doesn't make sense for them to clear anyone at this point anyway.
Sorry.
They kind of
Oh,
can't.
Charlie,
They
it's
likely-
time for Charlie to go to the bathroom.
They kind of probably don't even know which crimes for sure have been committed. I think someone was saying that's what the point Justin from Clutch and Pearls was making earlier. How can
Right.
you clear anyone when you don't know exactly which crimes have been committed anyhow? But they're not. I don't think they're going to clear anyone until this is done, or they would have by now. because they know who they're looking at. Whoever
Oh,
that is, they know.
There's your Oprah answer. Judy says Oprah depicted that beef was unsafe, and that's why they took her to court.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it did have something to do with the beef industry, and I think that's the period during which she met Dr. Phil, if I remember correctly. But I remember her doing those shows in the big auditorium or whatever.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up,
yeah.
I think, because everybody's tired.
Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you letting us kind of have a little fun with the celebrity talk tonight. That was kind of different for us and not really expected. I seriously have no idea how we went down that path, but kind of fun to kind of do something different anyway, and kind of hear your stories. Actually, there were some fascinating stories in there about all the celebrity meetings.
I am just ice for innocent. Just ice for innocent. You're not blocked. What did you say? Something? I missed it. Sorry, we've had a lot.
Yeah, chat's been super busy, so I apologize if we didn't.
I don't see. What did you say? Can you type it again, and we'll.
Can you highlight them so we can see? I'm not sure who you're referring to.
Let's see. Just ice for innocent. I didn't see what you said. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, here.
No, before that.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Well, no, I don't think you're blocked, is what I'm saying, I guess.
Whatever you want to say, go ahead and say it before we close up, and we'll be happy to talk about it.
It's just we get going and our chat gets so busy. It's just hard to, sometimes it's just so fast you can't keep up with it all, and
you can't search by name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or can you? Maybe you can.
Lady, have you had any suggestions on how I can become a member? I think talking to Lady Tit for Tat, or Sweet Tit for Tat. Well, yeah. Well, let's see. You can't member up. It won't let you. Okay. Did you try the link? You can't do it on the iPhone, or I know that you have to actually click the physical link.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. I think you have to, let's see. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's this link. I think it does it for me. No, I don't know how to do it. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how to do my own stuff. Let's see. I know Tit for Tat will know how to do it. There it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Tit for Tat. Lady Tit for Tat.
Yes, thank you.
And this was fun. I see a lot of you had a good time tonight with this, and it's okay for us to take a break, I think, once in a while from things. And
the heavy.
Yeah, the heavy. And actually, and tonight was actually kind of one of those. This was sort of not heavy. This was a good day because we had the Dog the Bounty Hunter announcement. And, so that sometimes we get a lot of bad news, and this was a good day.
Yeah, I think it's fun to do. I mean, I know this is not where we thought this was going, but it's sometimes it's good to just. This is all pretty heavy stuff, and sometimes it's fun to just be silly for a few minutes. And then Sam says, "Good night, you family. Love, love, love it here. I hope you have a beautiful night. You are a beautiful person. Thank you so much."
Thank you, Sam's pretty paranormal. Well, I guess we're going to go.
I think we're going to wrap it up. Yeah, we love you guys.
We don't know when we'll be back. We do have a busy weekend coming up. So I don't know if we do any lives, it'll probably be during the daytime, most likely.
We're going to have to.
And then we'll probably be back sometime early next week, I would guess.
I guess Monday.
Maybe Monday.
Probably Monday night, if I had to guess. But I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. We had to do it tonight because we have a lot of things going on the next few days.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And prayers for Sebastian and prayers for Seth and everybody. And anything else? Oh, and prayers for Breezy. I hope she feels better.
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And happy anniversary again, K-Mac. And thank you guys, and welcome to our new members. And thank you for all the gifts and dreaming. Thank you. We appreciate all you guys. And I'm getting ready to start our what's it called? Our end. We still haven't come up with a good end slogan. What was it you were thinking of?
Something like we rest our case, or the jury is
still out.
That's funny.
Case closed.
Oh, that's it. That's what it was. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming in.
Whoops. That's not what I meant to do.
There's our new outro.
That's it. That's it. Okay. We'll try it one more time.
We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine a light for you. We're holding on to hope for you. We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine on